Hello and welcome to the Hotkeys podcast, the show where we talk about everything pop culture and random in the world. I'm your host Mick, and I'm joined by
Josh Gallegos
Landon Browning.
and Jona Gallegos.
oh, we got the Gallegos brothers here.
Yeah.
That's right.
So Jonah, you've been on the podcast just once, right?
Yeah.
Not enough. And for the first time, we have Josh Gallegos.
Much requested.
Yeah,
Sure, I thought I
Took
was
a
going to
lot.
be the only one
It took
here
a lot
today,
of
but
money to get him here.
That's right.
my people talked to his people, and finally made it happen.
Yeah, I thought it was a little weird when I showed up and you said I had to get into my boxers, but it's not that weird right now.
When we're all in our boxers,
super
it's
comfortable.
fine.
Yeah.
A light breeze with the fan.
See, historically, it gets really hot in this room, even in the cold seasons.
Yeah.
So boxers are kind of mandatory.
I haven't used the AC in weeks now because it's freezing out.
Yeah. Well, and today it's like sleeting.
I know, it was
Yeah.
like almost snow on the way here. I was like,
Yeah.
what the heck?
Yeah, it's not good.
It's not even like 32 degrees,
Yeah.
which I thought was like necessary for snow.
Yeah. I thankfully don't have to use much heat here because I think the moronic neighbor that lives below me like cranks their
Just
heat,
has
so
it
like
on
all
all
the
the time.
like the heat just
Yeah, there you go.
rises, So.
Heat
Oh,
rod.
should I stomp around like I heard?
I've
that
thought about
too.
it every time I come home, like and I see the lights on there, like I just like I get like a little bit fired up, and I always come up the stairs. I look my angle
It's
my
October
head.
26th, 2019.
All right, wow. I always walk up the stairs. I always like lean my head so I can see the front of my door as soon as possible. Because I'm like I want to see another note. Like I really am craving like another note, so I can like fuel the anger that I have inside of me.
Just start doing like little annoying things here and there.
Like if she leaves another note, I'm just gonna leave a note on her door that says, "Please stop leaving passive aggressive notes
Yeah.
on my door."
Well, you never want to be the neighbor that's like gets to a place and then just starts complaining in a Yeah.
week.
Well,
Well,
it's like, come on. What?
and then here's an update on that. I don't know if I talked about it on the podcast, but I actually went and talked to the landlord about it because I wanted to get ahead of it in case like she was gonna be a problem.
Right.
Like I brought the note. I'm like, hey, I had neighbors live below me for like 9 months before this. They had kids, never complained. She's like, oh, you live in whatever apartment. She's like, and the one's complaining is like 160. She's like, oh, I know her. She's already complained a lot. So like,
Nice.
so she's been here for like a few weeks and she's complained multiple times about multiple people.
Right.
I guess so it's like, all right, they're on my side.
Yeah, so she's
That's
the
good.
problem.
So now I can start setting alarms at 2 a.m, getting up and jumping up and down for like 10 minutes
Yeah.
and going back to sleep. That's the plan.
You got the landlord on your side.
Yeah.
Just start
They can't do
wearing
anything.
cinder blocks on your feet.
Yeah.
Just have a hammer and start hammering on the floor.
Yeah. And random
If you're
spots
watching
at random
TV,
times.
you're just like,
Yeah. That's my goal.
Yeah, it's a good goal.
Yeah.
You always want to just piss off your neighbors.
Yep. Yeah.
If they're annoying.
They started
which
it.
they are.
She started it.
she,
So
yeah,
it's
she
like,
started
you
this
know,
war.
Yeah.
There's no going back now.
Yeah. And she's got pets. You're not supposed to have pets here. So.
Yeah, I've
Did you
seen.
tell the landlord that?
No, I'm not. I'm saving
You're
that.
saving that one. Yeah.
That's what. That's if
He's in the
I
hole,
leave.
that's
If I
right.
leave a note, I'm gonna be like to the pothead neighbor below that has pets.
Yeah.
Please stop leaving passive. So like if she takes it, and they're like the landlord will be like, oh, so you have pets? Oh,
Make sure you write it in pen.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
I like that. It's like a veiled threat.
yeah. Like
Pretty
it's
nice.
like, oh, you want to take the note to them? Then you're gonna give yourself up. So
Just
Yeah.
draw a cat or a dog on the note.
yeah.
Or just start taking pictures every time you see it in a window, and then
Oh,
just
they're always in the windows.
Yeah.
they're always. They've actually ran up. Like they've seen me coming by. They run up and jump in the window. They look at me and I'm like,
yeah. I saw one there last week.
yeah. There's two of them. There's two
So-
cats and maybe a dog. I'm not
Probably.
sure. So,
Holy crap! In the apartment?
yeah.
Yeah.
There's at least two cats. At least two cats. Probably a dog as well.
Dang, that's crazy. I
It
feel
was-
like these places don't care though. Like
No.
we had a cat at our apartment.
Yeah,
and I was
they
like,
well
whatever.
they pitched it to me like when they were taking me there. They're like, this is a strictly no pet apartment. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll abide by that, you know. And then,
There's like cats in
and
every single
there's
window.
literally, there's like there's literally like pets in every
yeah,
like the first thing like I came out like every morning there's somebody walking their dog out of their apartment and there's like cats in every window. There's some cats that are just hanging out in the yards and stuff. I'm like so
yeah.
this is clearly not
Yeah.
a pet free apartment. Like
Like I don't think you know what strictly means.
yeah, like but the lady made it sound like she's like, yeah, we like if you see any pets, you let us know.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
Absolutely
yeah,
zero tolerance policy.
Yeah.
Pets
Yeah.
are like Nazis.
Yeah.
We don't want them here.
yeah, yeah. So, but they don't care. So, I guess I'll just get a bunch of pets then.
Get like
A
an
loud
emu or something.
Yeah,
something
something
just
loud.
wild.
Yeah, a little chimp.
Get something that walks
Big
really
fat chimp.
heavy.
Yeah.
Like an elephant.
They
Elephant,
make it expensive.
hippo. Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
Probably illegal to have in an apartment
Yeah,
too.
maybe.
probably
Just a little bit.
legal to own in general.
I'm good with you getting a chimp and just calling him Caesar.
Yeah, have a little Caesar running
Caesar.
around.
Caesar is home.
Have the neighbor come up to complain, knock on the door. Caesar opens the door. She's like, "What the heck?"
Dude, chimps are scary, dude.
Oh, dude, they'll rip you apart.
Yeah,
Man. I think we've
no.
talked about on the show how they're vicious. Like they know what to do to you to like
Yeah.
make
Then you have
you
to make
die.
them wear a diaper and all that
Yeah,
stuff. It's
and
like,
you rip the
no.
guy's junk off.
Yeah,
What?
like just for fun. Like
No, because
Like,
he
they know.
he got jealous.
oh, that was the guy that they gave the cake or
guy gave
whatever.
a cake to
the
another chimp because it was
Yeah.
his birthday, and the other chimp saw that, and the next day when the guy came in to give him food, he attacked
Oh
him
my God.
and ripped his junk off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like the episode of Malcolm in the Middle
Jeez.
where Craig has the helper monkey.
Yeah, holding him
And it's
hostage.
just slowly like going insane and like trying to murder him.
I need to
like
watch that.
poisoning
show.
his milkshake.
Coming to
Yeah,
Disney
Disney
Plus.
Plus.
Oh
dude.
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
along with everything else.
Yeah, everything else in the world.
Netflix,
Yeah,
yeah, like
pretty
nothing.
much.
Like
Yeah, are you guys gonna keep your Netflix account when Disney Plus comes out?
I probably will.
yeah,
I mean, at this point, it's just like on
You're so
auto
used
pay
to-
anyway.
you're so
It's
used to
like,
paying
oh,
it,
okay,
like-
yeah.
I mean, it's not that expensive, and I feel like Netflix still does
Yeah,
like Stranger Things, and Netflix still has
That's
some
true.
they have enough
stuff.
original TV shows that are
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah,
I think I'm just gonna. You can just tie your Disney Plus with your Hulu account, can't you?
I think
yeah,
so.
you can bundle it.
That's
I think,
what I'm gonna have to
or yeah, they have a bundle, but I don't know if it's like because you can do ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus, but I don't know if you can just do Hulu and
I just want.
Disney
I already
Plus.
got like Hulu Live for like
Yeah.
ESPN and stuff, so I don't need the ESPN Plus. I don't need the weird sports.
yeah. Well, you don't like soccer? Jeez, man.
Yeah, I'm not really.
MMA.
I don't like watching the fighting stuff. That kind of like
Dude,
I hate
yeah,
watching
I can't
it.
watch
I
it.
I can't do it. It's like you see it on like Buffalo Wild Wings. It's like this is kind of like I don't know. There's something weird about watching someone like beat the living daylights out of somebody.
dude.
Like it's not. It doesn't feel right.
And
like,
half the time it's like elbow to the face knocks him out, and then he's like just punching him in the face like 3 times on the
Yeah,
ground. and
the
then
ref
like,
takes
hey,
like
hey,
5
okay,
seconds
yeah.
to get
well,
there.
it's like you know
okay,
that first elbow to the face, the guy's concussed.
Oh,
like
yeah.
he's definitely
he's
concussed.
already out.
Like
and
yeah.
then you're just like, bam, bam. You're like, okay.
What's crazy to me is that people don't die for like they had a boxer died
yeah,
like last
not too
week.
long, yeah, not too
Oh, they
long
did.
ago.
Yeah, because he got knocked out and hit his head. And
like
then
in the ring, he died.
they took him to the hospital and he was in a coma. And
He was
ended up
probably
dying
dead when
like
he hit the ground.
2 days later.
Gosh.
But I'm like, I can't. Like, I'm surprised in MMA there's not more guys that
They just die, like get a broken neck or something or broken.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's scary how easy it is to die from someone punching you.
Well, they're
Like-
they're trained. Like they literally like it's not like if you and I fought, like
I would win, but go ahead.
you probably would win.
Dude, that's I'm kind of down for that. I'll put some money on it.
Want to go right
But,
now?
like, it would probably be pretty sloppy. Like there wouldn't be any like training.
There'd
you
be
know.
some slapping and some nails.
You know, like but
and-
like these guys like train like their whole career is like they're training to like how to knock somebody
Yeah,
out.
how to
Like they're
injure
not.
somebody.
Yeah,
It's
so
like Nicolas Cage in Con Air. He killed the guy and then had to go to prison.
haven't seen
just
that
like
movie,
that.
but
Those are classics.
I need to see it. Anything with Nicolas Cage is pretty
In
watchable.
his glory years
Yeah.
when he did The Rock and
What are you
Con
talking about?
Air.
We're still in his glory
Yeah, he's
years.
still there
His glory career.
with his like 30 direct-to-DVD movies a year
Dude,
that he's
he's-
doing. Like,
I
Did you
love
see
Nick
that like Night movie with him and Hayden Christensen?
Yes, we watched it. Me and Jonah watched it together. We were looking through Netflix and we were like, Nick Cage movie. We're watching this right now. And then we were super pissed because he was like in like less than half of it.
What?
Yeah.
He's like on the front of the thing.
He that's the one where I wrote down the quote because there was a quote that he's like a crusader
Yes.
and he like doesn't change his voice at all. It's Nick Cage as a crusader. You
So
know, and he's
Nick
just,
Cage
like,
in
going
every
through-
single movie that he does.
It's Nick Cage and Pouty Anakin.
Yeah, I
in
can't
the
remember
movie.
what the like black guards are that's the bad guys
Mhm.
and they're like surrounding them and he's like the black guards are as thick as flies on an ass or something like
Yeah.
that on a horse's ass.
Yeah.
And we're like, I was like,
Just straight up Nick Cage voice though. That's great.
Oh, that common saying. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I was like, I gotta write this down.
that's pretty good. He's so quotable. Like all like
Oh yeah.
I love him in the National Treasure movies.
I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
Have you ever seen Andy Samberg on SNL do Nick Cage on Weekend Update? Oh my
No.
gosh, dude, it's so funny.
Oh,
He's just like talking about what how am I not in that movie? and then they have Nick Cage and Sandberg as Nick Cage. Dude, it's freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
He also does a funny Mark Wahlberg, like Mark Wahlberg talking to animals. Hey, goat.
Say hello
What
to
you
Mother.
doing, goat? Just got his British Boston accent
Yeah.
going on.
I love Mark Wahlberg in The
Happening?
Departed. The Departed. No, not The Happening.
What? What are you talking about? We're all friends
No,
here.
I don't want to kill you.
What you doing that in my lemonade?
That is such a great movie.
That had a lot of high hopes because like the first trailer was actually like really good and people were like,
Well, everyone's like a rated R M Night Shyamalan movie.
Yeah.
It's gonna be insane.
I just watched the Honest trailer for it. That's the only thing I've seen, and it's
you
like,
pretty much watched
it's
the
so
movie then.
laughable. Like
It's not. There's some scenes that I was like, so I'm an M. Night Shyamalan apologist. Like I really
Yeah.
like all his movies. There's some even in The Happening, the scene where the guys are walking off.
That's
The
creepy.
construction.
Yeah,
I mean, the
Oh.
way that's shot is just like
yeah.
the movie starts good, and then
Mhm.
once it gets into like some of the
Well,
like Mark Wahlberg,
I don't know
stuff,
what Mark Wahlberg's doing in that movie.
Yeah, he's
like you're
just
like,
not-
I don't
dude,
think
you're
he
a
knows
kid.
either.
Yeah, you're like, what?
and
What?
not only him, but also Zoe
So-
Deschanel.
oh, yeah, she's awful in that movie.
They have this really awkward acting that they do,
Mm.
but like some of the scene, like the way it's shot, like even the part where the Jeep goes into the tree, like how
Yeah.
that
Oh,
is
yeah.
shot, and all those, it's shot really well, but it's just like the main actors are just
they just didn't
Nah.
didn't click with the script or whatever, and like
well. They
doesn't
just,
the movie kind of fall apart too? Like when it reveals like what's going on, like
See, I don't mind the reveal because I'm like, it's more interesting than like any other things I've seen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people are just like, oh, that's not a good reveal. But it's like, well, it's kind of.
and
if you
the
think about it,
the thing with Shyamalan movies is everyone goes into it trying to be like, what's
What's
the
the
big
twi-
twist?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so then if it's not what you've like made it up in
Right.
your head, then you're like, that was lame. So it's just
Yeah.
kind of like
hmm
you just got to go into it and being like, there's just the way he shoots his movies is always like really good. The shots in all his movies are just kind of, you're just like, man, this guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I just watched Signs the other week.
I
and
want to watch that.
I noticed that too with that movie. Just the cinematography is really it's creepy and it just fits what the
Right.
story
Oh,
is
yeah, I
telling.
love
That's
Nice.
another one where people are like, the ending was stupid. You
Yeah.
know, like
Oh yeah.
where they didn't like like the way he explains it,
Mhm.
and I'm like, well, that's fine, but it's more. There's more themes in there. You know, like
Yeah,
there's some
the twist
scenes-
isn't everything.
I don't want to spoil it. There's some scenes in there in that movie that I think are some of my favorite scenes in any movie. And just the way he shoots it, where you kind of get a little bit
Mhm.
of Mel Gibson's story,
Yeah.
and then at the end you get the full story of what happened.
Right.
And it kind of is.
Yeah,
you
it
know,
splices
that to
in the
me-
flashbacks and like the perfect spot in the present time.
Yeah, I mean those things to me that Shyamalan does with those kind of movies, I just think are so well done. He does it in The
Mhm.
Sixth Sense too. You
Yeah.
kind of get a little bit. And then Joaquin Phoenix in Signs.
Dude,
His
awesome.
acting
It was
is
really
awesome.
that's
I didn't
probably
even know
the,
he's in that movie.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
amazing.
that's probably the main reason I wanted to watch it again because I just had seen Joker and so I wanted to see some of his older movies.
Is it streaming on any service?
I don't know.
I want to watch that movie. I want
It,
to.
it might be on Netflix. I don't know.
Okay.
You'll have to look.
Yeah, Science is great. I love that movie.
Yeah.
I've had a few movies that are like in my backlog of like movies I've missed or like older movies that I really want to watch.
And even The
Lately.
Village, I love The Village, dude. And people hate that movie.
I haven't seen that. I haven't seen many of his movies.
That's another one
And
too.
they hate the twist. They're
hate
like,
the
oh, the twist is so dumb.
But
it's like,
the
nah, dude.
so
Joaquin Phoenix again, dude.
yes, and Shyamalan movies. So there's some scenes in a lot of Shyamalan movies that I think are the best. So like in Unbreakable,
Mhm.
when he chokes the guy at the end,
Yeah.
how the music swells at that moment, where you're just like, I never thought I could get chills watching someone
Get
choke
chokes.
out another person, and the way it's just shot from
Right,
the window,
The window.
and you see like the breeze blowing,
Yeah.
and the way he does it with like the curtains.
hmm
The curtains blow at a certain point, and Bruce Willis isn't there, and then they blow again, and Bruce Willis is coming into like it's just shot, and the music. So in The Village, there's like a similar thing where someone gets stabbed, and you don't expect it, and it's just shot so beautifully, and the acting is so well done where the person's crying while they're stabbed. It's just,
dude, it's amazing,
incredible. And like, there's just little scenes like that in all his movies that I'm like, that's just so thought out and well shot that everyone focuses on. Oh, I didn't like the twist. Oh, that was dumb. But I'm.
He
just
kind of got like almost typecast kind of into like after The Sixth Sense, right?
Right.
Like,
He's the
what's
twist
the
guy?
Yeah.
But he has some scenes, even in Unbreakable, when he carries his wife up the stairs.
Yeah.
That whole shot, and he
It's
lays
so
her
like
in the bed.
so like smooth and just kind of
Right.
almost
Music is
dreamlike.
amazing.
And
I liked Split a lot too. Even I thought Split was
Yeah.
good.
I mean, he does things with. So everyone hates Lady in the Water, but there's a scene in Lady in the Water that always makes me cry. Like there's always scenes that are just shot so well, and the acting is done. The Happening doesn't have anything like that because the acting just isn't there. But even Lady in the Water, which is probably one of his worst movies, has the scene.
I still love Lady in the Water.
Where the guy stutters. He's Paul Giamatti's the actor in it, and
he's good.
And he stutters, but he had like this tragedy in his life with I think it was his daughter and his wife, where they die, and he's like, suppose he's like the healer or something. He needs to heal the lady in the water, and so he's talking to his family, like, but also talking to this person that's dying, and he's kind of like asking forgiveness for not taking care of them, and it's just shot so well. And there's just those kind of things that I'm like, he, even in bad movies, he has these scenes that he directs and that he's written that are just so well done that I'm like, that's worth watching just for that one scene.
Yeah.
So Avatar.
Hey, listen, man. I've only seen that once, actually. We watched it in theaters.
We did watch it.
That could be something that's not his fault either. That could have been a studio thing.
Well,
too, like
here's the thing. So I got in arguments with this. People that hated that movie is because they loved the cartoon.
Yeah.
And so a lot of them were like, because in the cartoon his name is Aang,
right?
And in the movie they call him Ong. And the reason he decided to do that is because he was like, well, that's how you would pronounce his name
in Mandarin.
In Mandarin, like. He did all these things that were like, well, or they said like, oh, when they airbend and stuff, in the cartoons they just do it really fast, and in the movie they take longer. And he was like, well, if you have firebenders that can just bring fire out, and he's like, they'd have the advantage because they can just burn everyone up. He's like, so I wanted to make it more.
You want to make it a little bit more realistic,
right? And so I'm like, he made choices that were like. And most people.
That cartoon fan base is pretty hardcore. I feel like there's a lot of people that really.
Yeah. Well, and how do you put a? Why do you put? How do you put a cartoon or fill a hole in two hours?
Yeah.
It's just,
exactly.
But it's still not a great movie.
Yeah.
I've only seen it that one time.
I think it gets exaggerated.
The acting in that movie is, I think, worse than The Happening. It's so bad.
Well, when you're acting with when you have actors,
that's really hard. There's some that can do it, but like
yeah.
I mean,
not those two.
Phantom Menace is prime example.
Hey, come on, he's great.
Liam Neeson was good.
There is a lot of good actors in that movie for how. I think it's mostly the bad writing. Like all those prequel movies, they have a lot of good talent. Like but
I mean, like Ewan McGregor is good throughout that trilogy. Even though he gets some pretty like cringy lines here and there, he still is. I think solid all the way through.
Negotiations were short.
He killed younglings.
No, those movies to me, I think the worst parts of those are Hayden Christensen and Natalie Portman.
Yeah, their love story.
I think, well, not necessarily that, just
the
how it's written.
Of it,
It's just I was talking to, I can't remember who I was talking to.
It was me.
No, probably was you. But I was reading an interview with Hayden Christensen, and he said the reason that he does his his
you
whole
told me
thing,
about
like,
this. Yeah,
sorry, master. Like does like that thing.
Like that. He has that cadence. To
he has a cadence. He's
voice.
like, it's because he wanted to match how Vader talks, not in the voice of James Earl Jones, but he's like the cadence of it, because he's like, it wouldn't make any sense if I'm like talking a certain way, and then once he becomes Vader,
right?
Vader does these certain things where he's like, he does the whole he pauses, like James Earl Jones does these pauses, and Hayden Christensen was trying to copy those pauses, and so I was like, okay, I can appreciate that.
Yeah, that's a level of detail that
he's like, I'm doing this on purpose. I'm not bad acting, like doing the lines bad. I'm actually trying to match how James Earl Jones talks, but it sounds weird because I'm talking like Hayden Christensen. So that to me is like,
also the dialogue's not great.
Well, I think
that's the biggest thing is because you see some movies with some no-name actors that do great, and it's because the writing. Like if the script's good, I think the script.
Honestly, the storyline of the prequels isn't bad.
No,
it's just
world building.
It's just the dialogue that is really choppy and cringy.
Well, and a lot of people complain about the politics. Like, oh man, I was never
bothered by that.
I think
that's good world building.
How does a guy take over a whole galaxy? It has to be done through politics.
Even as a kid, like seeing those movies in theaters, I wasn't bored by that or bothered by it.
I thought it was cool. Like, there's all the different alien species and getting together, and they're like having their.
Well, that's one thing that the original trilogies don't have anything in. Like I remember being a kid and being like, "Oh, the Empire's bad."
Yeah.
And there's the rebels, but like, what about everyone else? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And that's something that he like fleshed out in the prequels. That was like, oh, that's awesome. Like, I like knowing about this. That's like also lacking in the new one because they were like, we want to get away from politics. We want to just go back to the original trilogy.
Yeah, there was 5 seconds of politics, and then all the planets got blown.
Well, there's a deleted scene, where Leia they explain kind of why Leia's not in the Senate and all this stuff.
It's also in some books, right?
Bloodline was a book that's really good.
Yeah.
But I'm like, they shouldn't have deleted that scene. Yeah. It's seriously like a 30-second scene that I'm like, you should have just kept it in there, and it gives you a little understanding of what's going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, because from the like average moviegoer's perspective, their last experience with the timeline of Star Wars was the Rebels won and evil's defeated. And now, like 20 or whatever years later, they're back, and there's like no explanation to that. So that could be kind of confusing for some people.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm just excited for them to like expand the universe. Like I'm kind of like ready like for the Skywalker, like for that storyline to wrap up, and like because I've always felt like Star Wars like it could be way more interesting than it actually is. Like I like all the movies, but like I'm excited for like the Mandalorian show. Like let's see something that we haven't seen before. Yeah. Like let's follow some different characters.
Well, and they keep saying they're wrapping up the Skywalker thing. There's no way they're gonna.
The saga will end.
It's gonna end. Those 9, and then 10 to 12 years from now, they're gonna have episode 10.
I mean, it was said before. George Lucas was like, "There won't be an episode 7. It won't happen." There won't be a Luke Skywalker coming back. It's gonna happen.
They'll do the Mandalorian. They'll do the Obi-Wan show. They'll keep making live action shows, and then they'll probably do like a Knights of the Old Republic. So you'll go like thousands of years before the prequels, and then they'll do like a trilogy of that. And then once they'll be like, hey, what's up with Rey? I wonder what Rey's up to. And then that's when they'll be like, episode 10.
She dies in the new one.
You want to know what Rey's doing?
She gets hit by that spaceship in the beginning of the trailer. So. Yeah, it's just like, she explodes.
Yeah, could you imagine that? Disney killing off like their big like female character?
Yeah,
like,
in the first 5 minutes. Like the first 5 minutes of the movie, she just gets killed. And they're like, turns out her parents were just like,
did you guys know that was a plan with Lost?
Oh, with Jack?
With Jack. They actually got Michael Keaton.
Oh, yeah.
He was going to be Jack.
Michael Keaton was going to be Jack.
Yeah, and they were going to have him, like, they were going to take him to ABC and be like, hey, he's the main guy. And then in the pilot episode, at the end, he dies. Mm-hmm. And just be like, huh?
That's such a J.J. Abrams thing, right?
Well, they were going to do that with Poe Dameron, too. They were going to kill him when he supposedly dies in the movie.
Yeah, and then they decided to keep him.
I would hate that. I like Poe Dameron.
I like him a lot.
Yeah.
That'd be stupid if they killed
him. I like him.
I like it a lot.
I like it a lot. That was a great movie.
Yeah.
Well, since we're on the subject of Star Wars and trailers and stuff, the new trailer, supposedly the last trailer for the Rise of Skywalker, came out a couple days ago. What do you guys think about it?
I mean, I'm already going to watch the movie. Yeah. So it's like, at that point, I was like, okay, I want to see some cool stuff. I saw some cool stuff, but there wasn't anything that really like blew my mind.
Yeah.
Like the music was, I think, the way it's constructed is awesome. Like the way the music builds towards the end.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm already excited for the movie anyway. So
it didn't make me any less or more excited for it. I'm just like, okay, like, cool. I think I only watched it once.
Yeah, there was nothing in the trailer that bothered me, or some stuff got me intrigued, like the stuff with C-3PO. Yeah. I have thoughts about that that I hope are true.
Say it.
Well, I think that you know how in episode 3 he gets his mind wiped. I think they're going into his like memory bank and trying to reveal some type of secret about either Anakin or the Emperor, something dealing with that. Right. I don't think some people with the red eyes, some people thought he was turning evil or something, but I think that's them like
he's the
them accessing his memory stuff. I think C-3PO is going to play a bigger part in this movie than we think.
I probably go with that too. They're doing something with his memory, and I think maybe there might be a chance of like his memory being wiped if they do this, and so that's why he's like, well, I'm not going to remember anything.
Yeah.
But there was a leaked poster that came out where C-3PO had Chewbacca's bandolier, and so I'm like, I wonder if him having the red eyes, he becomes like
he's like in battle mode or something.
Wasn't there another? There's another. I don't know if it's canon anymore, but there was another protocol droid that was like an assassin droid.
There's some in the comics. Yeah. So it's like an R2 droid and a protocol
like CP3PO,
and they're like assassins.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, maybe they're doing something with that. But yeah, I agree. I think he's gonna have a bigger role. And even Kevin Smith like a while ago tweeted something like, I saw a scene that made me cry, and it's the best performance from one of the originals. So he was like, he talked about Anthony Daniels.
Well, it's got to be probably his last, even if they do another, it's got to be his last go around.
Probably.
Right?
I think Lando's. This is my speculation.
They are not going to kill Lando. Is that what you're going to say?
They're going to kill Lando.
Well, they've already killed all the other ones.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think they're going to do it.
This is what I think they're going to do.
Millennium Falcon gets blown up?
I think he's going to die in the Millennium Falcon.
No.
I think they're
I don't want to see that.
Here's the thing. I think they've set it up even when the Solo movie, so he has a connection to the Falcon because of L3 being in there. And I think they're going to do something where when he's back in the Falcon, he's going to like talk to her or something, be like, hey, old girl, or something like that.
He'll reference something.
And then I think when that final battle is happening, you know, where the Falcon's there and the final battle's going on, he's going to do something to sacrifice himself to give Rey more time or something. And I think that's going to be like I think that's going to be one of the only deaths in the movie is going to be Lando and the Falcon, because the Falcon's like a character.
Yeah.
But you can't have the Falcon to keep going and going and going. At some point, it's going to be like...
Yeah.
So I think that would be a great way for the Falcon to go with Lando.
He jumps it into the new Death Star or whatever.
So I don't know. That's what I think. I really liked the trailer. I thought, like you guys said, it didn't reveal any story points,
which is good for me.
Which is good.
Like, I don't care.
Some cool looking planets and stuff.
And they had some really cool stuff.
I love that ice
shot
thing,
with the TIE fighters flying.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool.
Well, I'm like, it's not a reflection. Because
some people thought it was a reflection.
No, because people were like,
that's what
I
thought at first. Yeah,
because the bottom has stuff built on it.
Yeah.
It's different than the top, and the TIE fighters are flying in.
Like below it.
Yeah, so I'm like,
that's cool.
So it's like, it's just an iceberg.
I think that's just to like please all the flat earthers out there. It's possible.
So that's cool. There's just a lot of stuff that I'm just, even the horses or the dewbacks, I think is what they're called. Like
that part made me
running on a
Orbacks.
See, yeah. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are like relating it back to The Last Jedi with
Casino,
that stuff. The way I saw that was I thought back to Episode 3 when Obi-Wan was riding that thing. Like that was awesome. That was cool. Or like when Luke and Han are riding the Tauntauns. Like that's cool. Like they can make animals in this technological world work.
I love the noises the lizard makes in Episode 3. Yeah, I love that. Like when it gets like blown up, I was so sad. I was like, no, it's like falling in the water.
The whole notion of people getting upset about like animals, I'm like, okay, in what everyone considers the best movie in Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, there's a giant space slug that lives in an asteroid that they land in his mouth, and he has bats living in his mouth.
Yeah.
And he never closes his mouth until they take off and leave. I mean, those type of things. I'm like, or
the animals are cool. Like,
Jabba the Hutt. I mean, he's a giant slug.
I mean, there are giant lizards on Tatooine too. Those are the dewbacks.
Or like all the sea creatures in Episode 1.
Yeah.
Like that's cool.
I mean, it's part of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like to have animals, and they're obviously not in space. They're like probably lifting off. It's like in atmosphere. So I'm like, it's not like they're attacking Star Destroyers on them. I guarantee you, it's something like we need to get to this point before something happens.
They don't have any speeders or
They don't have it. So they're like, we have all these animals here. Let's just ride them on the Star Destroyer and jump to this, or So I'm like,
It kind of makes me think of Return of the King. It's like, okay, this is kind of like the last battle. Like, we need all the help we can get. Like,
well, it's what they did with Return of the Jedi with Ewoks.
Horses. Yeah.
I mean, it's always about
the local
tribe versus the giant invasion corporation stuff. So I'm like, it's Star Wars. That's what it's always been.
Well, did you hear the thing with Kevin Smith about visiting the set?
Yeah, where he was like, "Oh, I saw," or that JJ was like gonna show him the last scene.
Apparently,
and
apparently there was this room that reveals like that's the last scene of the movie, and it ruins the whole movie if you see it. And so there was like a back and forth with Kevin Smith,
you don't want to see
and
it,
some producers, and then he finally talked to J.J. Abrams about it, and J.J. was like, "Don't go, no, don't look at it. It ruins the whole thing." And so apparently he didn't see it, but it's crazy it's crazy that this one room can like that's the definitive end of this movie that ruins the whole thing.
My thing with that is Kevin Smith always says stuff like that. That's like kind of
so over
the top.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering if it's just more of a emotional thing, like because someone was saying it might
it's
just
a baby Yoda.
No, he's like it might just be something where like it's nostalgia. Like they're gonna go back to this planet, and if you see that, it's gonna be like, oh man,
I hope they go back to Canto Bight, baby.
So, so it's just kind of like you never know. I'm hoping for a army of Force Ghosts.
That'd be
army
sweet.
of Force Ghosts, like the Return of the King.
This is what I hope. When it's at the end, I want Luke to show up.
Yeah.
I want Anakin to show up. I want Qui-Gon to show up. Mace Windu, Obi-Wan. I want like
old
because he makes this whole they're pushing this whole point of like thousands of generations live in you now.
Right.
Like Rey's the last one.
Like Anakin's definitely showing up, right?
Dude,
I think so.
And
so I think
yeah.
I think at the end they're all going to show up like as like support for like it to be like we're standing against the Emperor.
See, this is what I'm thinking. It's gonna be like kind of like a Harry Potter scene where he looks at his parents and they're like, and that's the scene at the end at the end of the trailer where she's looking at something.
Yeah,
and she kind of like has a smile. I'm like, I can kind of see something going on there. Or she's just looking at Poe.
Does it hurt?
Did you guys see that whole thing? Where people are saying that Rey running at the beginning isn't Rey, it's actually Leia, young Leia.
Wait, in the woods?
Yeah, they're like
in the woods.
When the trailer starts,
clearly Rey.
Okay, but they're like, there's one shot where it's farther away, where she's wearing different clothes and her hair's different, and they're like, it looks like Leia.
I'll have to watch it again because I just assumed it was Rey.
She's not. Leia's not going to be much in the movie, right? Like,
probably
they're
not.
just reusing old footage, so they don't have a lot to work with. I would
imagine. How do you think they're gonna handle that whole thing? Do you think that they're?
I think they're lying.
What do you mean?
You think they're
actually? I think they're using
mocap?
Because a report came out like months ago that said that Leia's daughter, who's in the movies,
right,
that has done scenes with Mark Hamill playing her mom. Like that came out as what?
Wait,
she as
I thought you meant Mark Hamill's.
Carrie Fisher's brother mentioned something like that.
Yeah, that's right. I remember.
And then when they asked him about it later, he was like, "Oh no, nothing." Like didn't want to say it.
Spooks got to him.
And so
they threatened his family.
So people are saying, what if there's a flashback where they use the, because Marvel uses all the de-aging stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Where, like,
The Benjamin Button technology.
Well, they did it with
they're
Rogue
like,
One.
what if they do a flashback where it's young Leia and young Luke, and it's a flashback to when they were like Return of the Jedi times. And so people have been saying, like, some people said if you freeze it here, it doesn't look like Rey, it looks like it's Leia. So I'm like, that's
reaching a little bit. I feel like
I'll have to watch it again. I'll watch it again.
I'd be down with that.
Oh, I'd totally be down with that.
Is the Emperor he's gonna be back in person, right? Or is it like, what do you guys think?
Well,
like, do you think
one of the last shots of the trailer was
like Mecha
supposedly
Mecha Palpatine, dude. He's dope.
him in like some mechanical. That maybe it's a spider. It's the mechanical spider coming back.
He's like Darth Maul.
He did that. He did that in episode 1 when he's on Naboo and they have that droid walking with his.
That's true.
I'm like, it might be something similar to that.
I just had this line around here.
What's the scene like? Rey and what's the dude's name?
Oh,
Kylo Ren.
Yeah, they like slash something down.
I think that's the pillar that holds Darth Vader's helmet.
Yeah,
because you see it flying off. I've seen like a lot of videos on people like analyzing the trailer, and they never mention that, but I'm pretty sure that's it.
Oh yeah,
I think that's what it is because it's in ashes. It's in, like, his ashes.
Mm-hmm.
And they're fighting. Yeah. So like they block a shot and both hit it. So it's like an accident. It's not. When I first saw it, I thought they were hitting it together.
Yeah.
But if you watch it slow, their lightsabers hit, and then they go
super slow.
Frame by frame.
You can clearly see. And you know what I found? Guess what else I found when I
she
watched
has a dagger.
The dagger?
She has no, not that. No one else has mentioned it.
Wait. Let me guess. She has.
If you look behind on the ground.
Oh, Cloud City. Boom.
No. Chewie's crossbow and bandolier are laying on the floor.
Wow.
So she murders Chewie and takes his stuff.
Is this like in those
it's
movies where you're
maybe
bring up the
but maybe that was C-3PO holding it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But if you're all looking on the foreground, in the background, it's just laying there on the top.
Yeah, I watched the trailer once on my phone during Monday Night Football.
You didn't zoom in?
No.
Oh, come on.
I think I've watched it like 100 times.
Oh my gosh.
And like pausing and being like, okay, make sure I don't miss anything. Do you guys see the battle droid in the trailer?
Yeah.
No.
He's in the scene with C-3PO.
With C-3PO.
Oh,
I didn't even realize that, what's the chick's name? Zori Bliss or whatever the new character is. Was
in that Carrie
scene.
Russell?
Like, it took me forever to realize, I was like, she's right there. She looks pretty sweet, actually.
Nothing's really been revealed about her yet, right?
They just said, like, she's tied somehow to Poe.
She's like friends of Poe or something.
A comic came out where they were like, they mentioned something about her that they used to work together or something.
Oh, Poe's old fling or whatever.
That's right.
Before we moved on to Rey.
I like her character design. It looks.
Oh yeah, she looks
it almost
sweet.
looks like prequel.
Yeah, she looks cool.
Stuff.
I gotta get that Lego set.
That Lego set is sweet.
Did you see the new Millennium Falcon?
The Y-wing.
The Millennium Falcon set.
Yeah, when I first saw it, I was like, But now that I look at it more, I'm like, I like it.
Of course you talked yourself into it. You're like, I don't need this. I probably need a fourth Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
I only have 2.
Okay.
I only have the Kessel Run and the...
Oh, you have the old one, right?
I have the old one.
I think eventually I'm gonna get the Kessel Run one. I like that one a lot.
I'm really close to. Cause I love Legos, but I haven't bought it in a long time. I'm really close to pulling the trigger on getting into collecting them again.
Okay, if you do,
there's no going back.
I know. Like I'm like if
then,
I go,
then money will actually be tight.
If I do it, it's gonna be like I'm buying 2 of each set, one staying in the box. I'm
dude,
and then like
people legit do that. Like I think it was like in Australia, some dude like
you can make money doing it.
Did his down payment for his house with like, I sold the Legos that I had bought. Like he just bought 2 of each, like with the rare sets that they come out, and then he like sold them and made.
Well, they never. They're a thing that doesn't lose value.
Yeah,
they go up. They only
There's
gain value.
There's actually articles out there that are like Legos are more valuable than gold because they don't like depreciate. Like there's
but
I
haven't kept any of my boxes.
Well, that's the thing is you got to buy one and then store one.
Well, yeah, because if you buy 2, like it's an $80 set, it's $160, but then like down the road when you sell the boxed one, you probably at least make your money back from the other one that you built. So it's like it almost.
Yeah, you just have to make sure you get like the whatever the limited release ones are.
Yeah.
Like the big like Taj Mahal ones, and they have like the $300 ones.
Yeah.
Which are crazy.
Yeah,
it's a long game. Like you have to be in it for the long haul. Like it's a long.
I'm a Lego investor. That's what I'm gonna start telling people.
Yeah.
In 20 years, I'm a grown man buying Legos.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Our families are always like, "You need to grow up." like our sister.
Like, no, I'm never gonna grow up.
I'm like, they're always like, what do you want for your birthday? I'm like, Star Wars Legos. We're not buying you Legos. Why not? You asked me what I wanted.
Isn't that up to me?
Yeah.
Luckily, I got my wife into Harry Potter Legos.
Dude.
So.
Oh, there you go.
See, is that lucky? Because now you're buying all of them.
Well,
Same with
here's
me,
the
dude.
thing. Here's the thing. The nice thing about that is that now she can't yell at me for liking Legos as a grown man because she likes Legos as a grown woman.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm like,
See,
hey.
but now the problem is you have to buy all the sets. I'm in the same boat with Crystal. Crystal's like, well, new sets are coming out. Gotta go buy them. I'm like, okay.
Is your
They
wife
are
a big
expensive.
Harry Potter fan?
She loves Harry Potter. I don't know why.
Yeah, you don't like Harry Potter, do you?
No, I don't. I mean, she watches them probably like once. Goes through all of them once every 2 weeks. I'm like,
Wait, what?
That's,
Really?
That's way worse than Crystal.
No,
Crystal does
it's
it like
insane.
twice a year.
I come home and I'm like, she's laying in bed and she's watching.
And she
Harry,
has
I'm
a
like,
wand down.
You're
She's
watching
like,
Harry
"Welcome
Potter.
home."
You're watching Harry
There's
Potter.
like a glass of water like a foot away. She's like, Accio,
Yeah.
Accio.
It's pretty crazy. Or
that's weird.
she'll put them on to go to sleep, and I always end up falling. I always wake up during the same moments. Like I've seen the same moments in Harry Potter over and over.
Have you
again.
watched all the movies?
I haven't watched them all the way through.
Oh,
I've watched all the movies
I haven't either.
in spots.
Good.
Like
I've watched like the first 3 or
I
so.
always-
I liked them.
I'm always watching the scene where they're pulling out the things from the pots, the screaming things. For some reason, I always wake
The
up.
mandrakes?
Yeah,
Yes, that's
watching
what they're called. I
that.
was trying to think of that.
Or at the end of the first one when he's like, Gryffindor, 2 points. You know where they're doing the whole
when he
points?
screws everyone else
Yeah,
over.
when he
You're like,
screws
oh, way to nice math, old man.
Slytherin wins,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Yeah, what a
For the
douche.
greatest game of chess ever played. 3 points. And
Dude,
they're all like,
I can understand why everyone hated Gryffindor
Oh, yeah.
in
Yeah.
those freaking movies. Because you're like, Dumbledore's clearly just clowning on us the whole
Yeah,
time.
he's just throwing
like,
it.
oh, guess what? You beat him by 1 point.
It's like
I
the-
wonder who came up with those
Yeah.
points. You did.
It's like
you
whenever
jerk.
you play like the youth group games at church. Like,
Yeah.
it's like you win every round, but like the final, they're like, oh well, this round's where it's quadruple points.
Yeah.
And like,
and the team that never won any points wins.
wins
And
that
they're like,
round.
I
Like,
win.
Yeah.
yeah, and they act like they're so cool.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's like
You're
playing
like,
board
yeah.
games with Dave.
yeah.
Oh,
He denies it, but he always pulls that like rule out like the last second. He's like, oh, actually, this rule
I
gives
didn't
me
say
like
that.
35 extra points. Oh wow, I win. Oh no way. Like,
that's totally a Dave move.
and then like you confront him about it. He's like, no, I didn't do that.
I'm pretty
No.
sure I let you guys know in the text message.
Yeah.
It's in the terms and services
Yeah.
that I made you guys agree to.
Yeah. Screw you, Dave.
Well, yeah, Star Wars. So
He's gonna.
I'm
freak all this
excited
out.
for the movie. I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
I think I wasn't a fan of Last Jedi. I think there's at least one person
I'm about
here.
to fight all of you. I had to fight all you. I love The Last Jedi. Screw you all.
It's one of like I didn't really care for it, but like I enjoyed it while I was watching it. It was like it's just a movie. It's entertaining. Like
But didn't you have like the most miserable time ever?
that was the worst theater experience I've ever
Yeah.
had. But
Well, it's probably Will's theater, huh?
no, it wasn't
it was-
Northtown.
it was Northtown.
I had a lady next to me.
this like
who-
30-something-year-old lady in a bathrobe
With-
and a glass of wine
Oh.
Yep. Yeah.
comes down.
I know. At first I was like, all right, let's go.
Well. Look what we have here.
But then
you
it
want to
was,
see my Jedi mind tricks?
it was slowly revealed that
She wouldn't
was
stop
horrible.
texting. We're at like a midnight premiere, and she would not get off her phone.
Dude,
like-
that's when you gotta slap the
No,
phone
I-
out of their hand.
Like,
You're like,
I looked over at her and I'm like, hey, can you get off your phone? She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like she acted like it wasn't thing, and then like
Yeah.
20 minutes later, I could see her like doing it. I'm like,
you're like, it's dark in here and there's a giant light on that phone. It just
Yeah.
lights up.
it's like, what are
Go
you doing
away.
here? Like I understand, like
Yeah.
maybe if you're at like a matinee showing of some random movie, like you were,
Right.
you maybe put, but like it was like nonstop.
this was like this was like the midnight show.
yeah, like it was like the theater's
Of
packed,
Star
like,
Wars.
of Star
Yeah,
Wars. It's like,
that's
what are
crazy.
you doing here? Like, who would want to be out at midnight just to be on their phone? Like
Yeah.
you can do that at home if you're not going to watch the movie. Like, yeah, screw her. She's a terrible person.
Yeah, for a while there, I was having like bad theater experiences, like back to back, like just terrible people I'm sitting
Yeah,
next
it's
to.
bad because like then it ruins it. Like you can't focus on the movie because you're so angry at the person next to you. Like,
Yeah.
and you're like almost waiting for them to do something else. You're like, God, just do something else that can make me more mad. Like,
When I watched Dunkirk, the dude next to me was, for one, he was hammered.
oh yeah,
Like,
that's a good movie
I
to
like,
be drunk.
I like
at.
walk up and he was like, hey man, shook my hand, and I thought I knew him for a second, and then I realized like as soon as I shook him, like, I don't know, you're a stranger. And he like had cargo shorts and like pulled out like his beer from his. He's
Oh
like,
my
Oh, yeah.
gosh.
All right.
So he's like drinking during the movie. And you know the scene where like the plane's like lining up the shot?
Mm-hmm.
And, like it's dead quiet in the theater. He's like, "You missed." Bam. You missed again. Bam. Oh, I'm missing your shots, man. I'm like, dude,
you're like,
shut
up.
That's so annoying. I had one of my cousins. I went to see the second Hobbit movie with him, and you know the part where it's like really suspenseful, and they're like outside the big mountain, and I think it's what's the older dwarf's name? The wise one.
Dwalin. No, Balin.
Balin?
Yeah.
Feely, Keely, Oin, Gloin. One of those. You know, when it's like a dramatic scene and he's like,
cousin Balin.
There's like this huge like booming noise, and then like the camera pulls in close to him, and it's like, that's the sound of a dragon. Like it's like a dramatic scene. My cousin, right before the screen says dragon, he's like, dragon. It's like, I hate you, and everybody else hates you. I'm sitting right next to you, jerk.
Was this your idiot cousin in Portland?
Yes, I think
it could be in Portland, could be, you know.
How many idiot cousins do you have?
If he's an idiot, he probably can't figure out how to download this, right?
Probably not.
Yeah.
You know who you are. You suck. No, I'm kidding. Not really. Okay.
Remember at the end of The Hobbit, the second one, the guy stood up in front of us and was like, "I'm gonna burn Peter Jackson's house down." We're like, okay, dude, chill out. They also brought like a newborn to the movie too. I'm like, gosh, get out of here.
Oh man.
Anyway,
he was so mad about how bad the movie was. Like,
yeah, he just like hated it. Like, I'm like, okay, calm down.
Do you remember the lesbian couple that was next to us during The Good Dinosaur?
I vaguely remember that.
Gosh, they kept like talking about gross things during.
I don't know.
I
must have blocked that out.
Before the movie even started, they had like it was like Mariah Carey, like a Fathom event or something. It was a concert, and while the commercial's going on for that, the lady's going like, "Oh wow, look at her," and like just like.
And you're like, Mariah Carey, really?
She's not even like talented anymore.
Right, and she was doing stuff like doing like licking her lips thing, like going like
How
that.
closely were you looking at these people?
No, you could hear that. I could hear them.
You could hear her licking her lips.
She was
a little
exaggerating. She was going like that.
Oh my god!
And the two ladies were like, "Oh," and talking about it, and they were like married. Because they were like, and then the whole time during like A Good Dinosaur, they kept saying stuff. I was just
about the dinosaurs?
No, about themselves.
What?
See, like
I must have blocked that out.
You're the good dinosaur, man.
Like no matter what you're into, you don't want to hear that in a movie, right?
Know,
like especially a kids movie. It's like go
watch 50 Shades of Grey or something if you're.
Yeah, seriously. Why are you in a?
We talked about it because they were being so loud that you could hear them because it was me and then you and then Crystal.
I remember it vaguely. I must have, like I said, blocked it out.
That sounds horrible.
It's pretty bad.
Okay,
that's terrible.
Yeah, I get so mad at people in theaters,
dude. When we went and saw Captain Marvel,
oh god,
we had a whole. We get there.
Well, that was your first problem. You went and watched Captain Marvel.
Not a great movie. I mean, same thing. Like it was an entertain. Like I couldn't tell you what that movie was about. Probably like 30 seconds after getting out of it. Like it was just standard Marvel fare.
It was completely forgettable.
Yeah, but we get there, we sit down.
First of all, we're excited because
there's no one behind us.
There's no one behind it. There's like a whole row that's just like nobody sitting
and
here.
Also it's like what's like partitioned off or something like that. Like
it made it look like those seats were closed for like maintenance or something.
Yeah.
Like there was something broken in there, and so like the whole row was cut off.
We're like,
we'll
right,
sit right in front of that row. We're fine. And then like as soon as the trailers start, this group of like 15 like 10-year-olds come in
with two parents,
with two parents, two chaperones.
Out of their depth, they're like
they sit right behind us, and I thought it was stupid how they set it up because the parents sat on both ends, and so it was just this whole row of kids in the middle, just like talking and like screaming, and
one of them was like rubbing your head, I think. Right?
Yeah, I was like sitting right down, like a kid got up and he was like, pushed down on my head. I was like,
dude, Mick was getting so irritated.
I was getting so mad.
Like I think he like leaned over to me. He's like, I'm so mad right now, or something like that. Like. And like the kids were cracking, like the kids were laughing at every terrible Marvel joke that was being made. They're like, like they're like repeating them to themselves and stuff. I'm like, oh no.
Wait, was Will with these kids?
Oh shoot, man!
Just kidding. Sorry. I had to.
Will listens to this podcast. He's gonna get in trouble.
I don't know if he does. I think he listens to some of the episodes. Hopefully. We'll tell him to listen to this one. We'll be like, hey, Josh was talking really nicely.
You might want to listen to this one. Yeah. I don't want anybody to talk or anything. I actually like going to movies by myself when there's like nobody in the theater.
Yeah, you guys are weird. I don't like that.
Oh, it's the best thing.
They're like, why would you go to a movie by
yourself?
yourself?
Every time I see someone sitting by themselves, I'm like, what a sad life that guy lives. And then I'm like, oh, Jonah, is that you?
I used to go all the time to movies by myself when I was in college. Be like, hey, I want to go watch a movie. Got nothing to do. I'll go by myself. I don't have to coordinate with people. Be like, hey, do you guys want to go? Who wants to get the tickets? And this was before they had the recliners. So you had to get there to get a good seat. I was like, I'm just going to go and watch this movie. No one else wants to watch it.
I've done it before, like when I lived in the Tri-Cities and I didn't have any friends.
See, exactly.
And it was sad. It was very sad.
It was a dark moment in his life.
It was very dark. It was not quite as dark as going to Outback Steakhouse by myself, but that was sad. Like I walked there, I'm like, because I wanted steak.
Are you waiting for anybody?
Well, I'm like, table for one. And like the lady was like, she said something about like, I'll take you guys. And then she like kind of like laughed. So she's like, I mean, just you. Back to camera. And I was like,
wow.
So
I ate that whole loaf of bread though that they gave you. I ate that whole thing.
Absolutely.
So I want to run this by you guys. I want to tell me I think I know Landon's answer already, but I want to know what you guys think if this is pathetic or totally fine. For Thanksgiving this year, my family is going to the coast. They're spending time there with my grandparents and maybe some other family. I cannot go because of work and
gotta record the podcast, obviously.
Oh yeah. So I'm staying in town for Thanksgiving.
Don't you dare!
I'm gonna be here by myself.
No, you can come over to my house. You don't have to do this.
So I thought, what place serves some good food that I can go to? Maybe like an all you can eat.
No,
buffet?
don't go to
Golden Corral, dude.
I was like, Golden Corral. Yeah, I like that.
Come on, man, you don't have to do this. Like, that is pathetic. The answer is yes.
Is it cool if I go there by myself?
No, that is sad. That's extremely sad.
Here's the question: are you going to be attending like a dinner sometime? Is this like, I'm gonna go for lunch and then I'm gonna go somewhere else for dinner?
No.
You can't.
Do that.
You can come over.
We have like a billion people coming over to Thanksgiving for us. So you
come to our house.
Yeah, you can go. Like my parents don't cook too much food.
I'll go to Golden Corral with you in the morning for breakfast.
All right.
And then we'll go eat lunch at my house.
It's not a bad idea.
I still feel like you're gonna see some stuff at Golden Corral like that you don't want to see that day.
That is true.
Like 45-year-old dudes like by themselves.
Well, that was always the worst at Perkins. Is like I used to be a dishwasher at Perkins. And,
fight, man.
Like
every
Thursday, at like Thanksgiving mornings or like Christmas mornings, it's like, what are you doing? Going to Perkins and eating? Go home.
Free coffee, dude.
That's a good point.
I almost thought about when I was in the Tri-Cities, like I thought I was gonna be down there for Christmas, and the other guy like covered my on-call shift. But I thought about it, I'm like, man, maybe I should go to like Sherry's on Christmas just to like see who's there. But I'm like, but then I'd be one of the people that's there.
Yeah. You gotta go to something
that's what
like
everyone says.
Arby's has some good turkey sandwiches, right?
So I'd say no on Thanksgiving, but Christmas Eve is a go.
All right.
Oh, dude, no.
All right.
I can't get behind the Golden Corral thing. I can't get behind it. Like, it's just not. We were almost gonna go there for your birthday this last year.
Well, yeah, because on my birthday we went to Buffalo Wild Wings. Because
I'm not a big Buffalo Wild Wings guy. Yeah. I'm not a big Buffalo Wild Wings guy.
I feel like you said the other day that you were like, man, I love Buffalo Wild Wings.
I go there because that's like the only place that like Jordan, Will, and Colby want to eat.
Oh, those guys.
I'm like, can't we go somewhere that we've never been before?
Like we went to a place called the Barrel.
That place was great.
That was great. It was really good.
Was it a Cracker Barrel?
No. It was
a local
It's a steak and seafood place.
Mm-hmm.
It's right by
Safeway.
The Safeway on Francis. Yeah. It's right across the.
Oh, that's the place I wanted to go. It's like right in front of.
It's like right next to that gas station.
It's right by where I used to work, the Stop and Go place.
Yeah.
There's like there's
it's
like
a bar now.
It's on Wall, isn't it?
Yep, it's on Wall.
It used to be Lost Boys.
Yeah, it still is Lost Boys.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or no, the place across.
It's good. Yeah.
I keep telling my wife. Every time I go by there, I'm like, man, steak. I don't like seafood, so I'm like,
I'm gonna get a steak.
No, it was good.
So I was like, we got to go there because it's always full. Like, there's always seems to be people eating there. Like,
we didn't wait that long for it. When we went there on a weeknight though for my birthday.
I think. It was good though.
Yeah, it was
highly recommend.
Might have to go there.
Yep.
Good. Like The layout's cool. It's quiet.
The only thing I didn't like about it was there was a couple flies like around. It was like, but the food was great and the service was good. So.
Yeah, I remember the service.
You really like the service.
Yeah, the service is great.
Whatever you do, don't talk Game of Thrones with her.
Nah, yeah, that didn't work. I tried that one. Thought it was gonna work.
That pickup line fails.
Yeah. I really thought it was gonna work that time. Like it seemed like it maybe like the one time Game of Thrones works.
Do you know? Here's the thing. Listening to that story
made you sad, right?
No. It didn't make me sad because I was like, okay, he gave it a shot. But I know the exact reason why she didn't.
I know too.
Oh,
because Ben.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If you've got a friend there that's going like,
hey, why don't you ask her about Game of Thrones?
being like that,
that's
then
how
she's
he
gonna
was
be
like on the podcast. I can't even imagine what he was like there in person.
He like was blurting stuff out at points.
Yeah.
Like,
so therefore she's gonna be like, he's cool. I'd be down with hanging out with him, but she's like, but if this is his friend,
if this is his circle,
like if we're watching it with this guy, that was your problem.
Oh no.
So, my opinion, anyways.
Yeah, that's what
I don't know.
I concur.
Does Ben listen to this podcast?
I don't know.
Oh no.
Shoot! I haven't heard of Ben in years. Is he around?
I haven't.
He still comes into work sometimes.
I haven't
you
seen.
You guys work with him.
I haven't.
But he
never
has a different
talks.
schedule.
Yeah,
I haven't talked to him in over a month, or maybe it's been. I talked to him on PS4 for like 10 minutes one night, but like besides that, I haven't hung out with him in over a month.
Is he moving down to Boise with Jesse too?
I don't know. Dude, oh man, that's a sitcom right there. Like Jesse, his wife, and Ben in an apartment. Like
I'd watch that train wreck of a show.
Yeah, I mean it gets canceled after 6 episodes, but like it's like a cult show. Like down the road, like man, like if they could have just given
man,
it like
do you remember that show?
Yeah.
It's like Firefly.
My favorite was when Jesse was talking about on one of your podcasts in the past when she almost got a DUI or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, have you gotten hit in the head? Well, about like 7 months ago, a thing of ice hit her.
Like, yeah, he immediately was like, oh yeah, that did happen.
I'm like, yeah, I don't think it affects you that much.
7 months down the road. Yeah. No. That's good to know that maybe it wasn't me that like stopped her from going out.
No, when the story was going, I was thinking, knowing how Ben like is as far as like making facial and making comments, and the way that he was talking about it, I was like, I guarantee you, he was like,
for
like being awkward or like just going like when you were talking, going like,
yeah, I don't.
So I was like,
it was weird though because I had another interaction with the waitress.
She even hugged you.
Yeah, she hugged me. Like I ran into her again, and like she acted like nothing.
Whoa.
Like
she wasn't even
same day.
She wasn't even.
Yeah, so no, it was like a couple months later. We were back there, and she wasn't even waiting at our table. And she like saw us and came over and said hi, and was like, "Oh, how you guys been?" Like blah 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 blah. And we were chatting like a bunch, like asking how we were doing, and then like I went to talk to her before I left. So I was like just chatting with her. And she's like, "Oh," like she gave me a hug and stuff. And I was like, "See ya," and like kind of was like, "Hey, I'm still down to."
Weird, like. So I can't help but notice that you never texted me.
Yeah, I didn't say that.
Is there something wrong with me?
No, I didn't do any of that. Like, I kind of
mentioned. Tell me what I did wrong.
I kind of mentioned that, like, hey, I'm still down to hang out, and she's like, yeah, and like nothing. I'm like, yeah.
You just asked for a number.
You didn't ask for a number?
No, I gave her mine, but like I should ask for her.
Next time you see her, be like, hey.
She's gone now. She's like got a teaching job now, so she's
follow her. Figure out where she teaches.
You're like, hey, so I figured out what school you teach at.
Just show up as a new student.
Yeah.
In your classroom.
Yeah.
It's like a first grade class.
Today we have a new student. This is
Billy Madison.
I don't know. It's kind of tough. Like I have a tough time putting myself out there to people. Like I don't know. I get like really nervous, like that kind of stuff. But I don't know.
But at least you did it.
Like I've done it once now, so it's like. Yeah.
Have you stalked her on Facebook yet?
Actually, Jordan found her on Facebook within like 2 minutes.
Yeah, Jordan.
That sounds
like
about right.
Yeah.
He's weirdly good at that.
I've been screwing with him though, because like he claims that he can find anybody. Like Colby like mentioned a girl's name. He's like, oh, I found her on Instagram with him like 6. It's like it's really like, but so I found.
He knows the algorithm.
So I've been taunting him with this picture of this dude. Like I have like several different pictures of this guy that's from like a Facebook whatever. Like he's probably gonna listen to us trying to find him. But like I've been sending him pictures of him. I'm like, oh, can you find him? And he's like, I can't find him. I can't find where he's at. And I'm like,
how do you find it based off a picture
dude,
alone?
he can do it.
No.
Like, no, I'm not kidding. Like, but he can't do it with this guy. It's driving him nuts. Like, I always bring it to him. Like, I'll just be like, have you found him yet? He's like, shut up, Blake, shut up. He's like, who is he? Who is he?
White whale.
He's like, what's his name? I'm like, I'm not telling you. Like, yeah. Taunting Jordan.
He's like, what does it start with?
Yeah,
Give me the first letter.
Give me the first letter.
What does it rhyme with?
Because he was really arrogant. Like, he's like, I bet I could find this guy in like a minute. And then like 10 minutes goes by. He's like, I can't find him. Like, yeah, he's got a kind of a creepy ability to find people.
He should work for like the CIA or something.
Yeah. I'm imagining him now as Liam Neeson. Find anybody. I will find you.
And I will kill you.
Yeah.
I have a very particular set of creepy skills.
Yeah. Ugh.
Well, speaking of creepy and weird, I was reading this article the other day about these lab rats that were trained to drive cars.
Stuart Little, dude.
I don't even know. How does this even
The
work?
scientists
Are they
were
gi-
watching
are they
Stuart Little.
giant rats or are they small
Yeah,
cars?
This is on the Washington Post.
Okay.
Scientists say they successfully taught rats to drive tiny cars,
Oh,
which has more potential for human research than you think. Researchers at the University of
Really?
Richmond in Virginia
Someone
trained
got a grant and they
like I gotta spend this.
trained
money.
trained lab rats to drive the makeshift cars, which they say proves the little rat brains are much more capable of performing complicated tasks than previously realized. And surprisingly, learning to drive appeared to reduce the rat's stress. The results
That's
of
nice.
this research could help scientists understand anxiety and depression in
Well,
humans.
the rest of their
Clear my
life's
mind.
probably so insanely stressful, being like in like these mazes and like all these
Cheese,
Where's the
Yeah.
cheese?
go for a little nice
Yeah,
drive.
yeah, nice little.
They have road rage with each other, like freak out. Like
They had to go through driving class and pass all the tests.
we need to get some of them on motorcycles.
See,
and stuff.
yeah, this is the thing. Like, define drive. Like, are they making turns? Are they?
Or are they just
getting
like
to a
literally like going like
destination?
all over the place and
Yeah,
crashing into
exactly.
a wall? Like,
There-
like,
there
oh wow,
should've-
they did it.
There should have been a sentence at the end of that article saying, proving that rats are better drivers than women and Asian people.
Whoa!
Wow.
Dave, you might have to bleep
Yeah,
that
Dave,
out.
you
We're
have
having
to
some
cut that
racial.
out. Hey,
What?
it's just a stereotype. It's just.
The Hotkeys podcast does not subscribe to Jona
Yeah, we do not
Gallegos.
support.
Does this mean Jonah's not invited?
He's been
back in
canceled.
Miami?
Jonah's been canceled. Cancel culture's coming for you.
That's right, dude. You better watch out because like years from now, when you're famous and you're like, oh, he's gonna on the show playing, got an album coming out, and they're like, actually, back in 2019, Hotkeys podcast. Look at what he said. Donezo, dude.
He
Known
said
for his
rats are-
extremist racial views and opinions on DC comic film.
Yeah.
Look, that's a video of them driving.
Okay.
See, much better.
Can you show me?
They're bumping into everything. So they're probably equal.
That's awesome.
How are they driving that? Do
They
seem
don't know
like
what they're doing. They don't know what
Yeah.
they're doing.
Oh, that's stupid. They're just in like a freaking ball, basically.
They have
like
nothing
a
to do.
hamster.
They
It
have
just has
nothing to do.
wheels on it.
Yeah.
It's like a
Dumb.
Segway. Like if you
Yeah,
lean forward, it goes forward, and if you move it,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be happy when I see them having like blinkers.
I
and
I thought he had a stick shift.
I was seriously
I'd be
thinking
impressed.
of
Like,
There's like small ones, garbage
I
trucks.
was
There's like
thinking of Stuart Little.
Yeah.
I want to see one back up like a mini 18-wheeler, like into like a loading.
yeah,
dock,
put a trailer
like,
on there and
yeah.
then come talk to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Get the trucker hat on. Like,
full of cheese.
Yeah. other rats are unloading it off the truck.
Yeah.
Like
Driving
Fifo Goes
forklifts.
West.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah,
that's
there you go.
Five-o. I got all 4 of those movies on.
Did I tell you? I don't know if I told you. The worst part of 503.
That's the one. That's the one with the Native American mice, right?
Whoa. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
it is. But you know what the worst part of that? So I had my nephews over probably like a year and a half ago, and I was like, oh, let's watch American Tail because it was on Netflix.
Oh, so good.
And so we started watching the third one.
I love the third
And
one.
do you know what's the worst thing about the third one? At the beginning of the third one, he comes out and he's like, Mommy, I had,
yeah.
I had a dream that I was in the Wild West. I was like, the best movie is the second one, and you just made it a dream. It's not
I know.
real.
It's a dream, dude.
No.
Yeah, it's a dream. Yeah, it's a big reveal. That's the twist. That's the twist,
It
man.
was
At the
awful.
beginning of the movie,
Yeah.
that's nuts.
Dude, it cut me deep. I was like,
Well, okay,
that's
so
my
like,
favorite one.
here's the deal. The only way that you can deal with it, so, is either that it's a dream, or that you can like they either had to make it a dream or they have to make it where like that's like the third one takes place before the second one. So I guess they just went the dream.
No,
route.
but see,
like
they had Native American rats. Why not in the third one? Why not have Native American mice? They're in the West, anyways.
But they wanted to get back to New York because that's kind of like that's like I don't know. I like the third one. I like the character. I like the character Scuttlebutt. I like when he's chanting guilty, guilty. As they're about to like roll the mayor dude like into like the meat grinder. He's like guilty, guilty. Like that's like my favorite part.
That's a good part. But I just was so hurt by them making the second one a dream.
Yeah, it is a little disappointing.
You go through all that, and the cat character in the second one's the best.
Oh yeah, he's like I haven't seen any of them in like way too long. I just remember the guilty. I love it so much.
It cut me deep.
Welcome to the American Tail podcast.
Yeah, have you seen the fourth one?
I've
only seen the fourth one once. Like I don't remember it being as good.
I think they changed the character's voice.
Yeah.
He got too old.
He did.
But it's weird in the second one because in the second film they don't have the Tony's character isn't in it. I don't think. Like,
those movies just. I mean, 1 and 2 were great, and then
I don't know. 3's good,
4,
man.
I just can't get
Tony
past.
Scuttlebutt.
Can't get past it. Made it a dream. That's like if at the end of Rise of Skywalker, like Luke wakes up and he's like young again. He's like, "Oh, that was weird."
He's just like back to moisture farming.
I'd be like,
Toshi Jason gets some power converters.
He gets in his little what's his like thing that he flies around. They don't show it in the actual movie. His
That's a T
49 or what?
T16 or something like that.
He gets in that crash and
It's a
dies.
Skyhawk.
Like that's how the last one ends. He dies in a crash, or he wakes up from like a crash. Like you crashed your sky.
You were in a coma for 4 years.
Wow. Then like the Empire system just kills him.
I'm down for that ending.
Yeah.
That'd be so controversial. People would be so angry. Like
Nothing would make me happier.
I would like to see like the annoying Star Wars fan base just like crumble though, like because there's some really annoying.
Ugh.
Dude, that's literally every fan.
I know, but like I'm so sick of that. Like I'm so sick of like
it's ridiculous.
Like, all right, you hate a Marvel movie or you hate a DC movie or you hate a Star Wars movie. It's like not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to like break down crying. Like
What?
Yeah.
Jonah doesn't hate a DC movie.
I don't.
Not really. I'm not looking forward to Birds of Prey though.
I watched the trailer.
I don't have
any
hopes for that movie.
That's one where I'm like, eh.
The only thing that makes me curious about that movie is Ewan McGregor as Black Mask.
I hope it looks cool.
And they got the director from John Wick to reshoot a bunch of the action scenes.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, the trailer I just didn't think it didn't look good. I was like, yeah.
Well, and then Ewan McGregor had like a comment on it where he was like, I read the script and I wanted to be a part of it because it's a movie all about women empowerment and all the things they've had to go through, and we have all these characters that are gonna attack male sexism and all this stuff in a really cool way. And I was like, okay, that's fine, but I was like, if that's the point of you making a movie, like that's kind of like the whole reason they did this movie was to get that message across, and I'm like, I don't know, I'll watch it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jonah hates women.
Toxic masculinity.
Yeah,
right
Jonah
here.
hates women. Jonah hates Asians and
women drivers.
Yeah, it's just a lot of hate.
It's true.
Well,
I don't even
he
know.
admits it.
I don't even know how I'm married.
Yeah.
I feel bad for my daughter. I'm gonna raise her and be like, stay in the kitchen.
You can't do anything. What do you think you're gonna
Yeah.
do with your life?
You can't go to school.
You can't drive.
She already drives that sick land speeder.
That's true. I do have. She does.
Oh yeah, you have those little Star Wars.
That's pretty cool.
When Toys R Us went out of business,
Yeah,
I was
dude.
like, I'm gonna get
I
this. 60% off, no doubt.
I mean, it's a pretty good deal.
I wish it was a
originally,
little bigger so that I
so
could
you
get
could
it.
do it seriously. It's awesome.
That's like the thing like I always wanted as a kid, like but didn't get
Yeah,
it.
I
Like,
never got
That's
that.
why I
Never
bought
got
it.
that.
That's why I bought it for my daughter because I was like, I always wanted one of these.
Yeah,
And this one's a land
Yeah.
speeder.
yeah, it's way cooler than just the car one. It's
Yeah.
like-
Yeah, that was a toy that all my friends had, but
Yep.
Dave and I never had growing up.
Nice. I'm glad we're all united.
yeah, that was a lot of experiences for me. It was like, oh, that's really cool. Mom, and it was like, no.
But
It's like,
then-
ugh.
But then my parents bought one for my younger sister and brother.
Oh.
So I'm like, wait a minute.
Dude.
Wait a minute.
Carter doesn't deserve that.
Mick's out there just like messing with the wires.
Yeah.
Cut the brakes.
No, Mick's like at home. His parent Randy comes in. Mick, what's wrong?
I ain't get a toy car.
How come you got them a Power Wheel? You never got Dave and I one.
I ran into your dad at Albertsons.
Oh yeah, he told me about.
He was
that.
like rubbing in his fantasy win, like.
Oh, he's in your fantasy league?
Yeah, he's in one. I was pretty upset.
I think he lost to Colby though.
No, he beat Colby.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he ended up beating Colby. I'm playing him in our dynasty league though, and he texted me this week. He's like, "Hey man, go easy on me this week. I got like some players hurt and stuff." I just want to reply, be like, "No." I'm gonna slaughter him. Brutal. I'm gonna feel good. I don't know what it is about like beating your dad in fantasy football. It just feels really good. I don't know.
Because he's a Cowboys fan.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
Who we done, boy? Like that's why like almost all his players on buy because like he's got so many Cowboys players on his team.
What do you guys not like the Cowboys?
No.
I like Jerry Jones because he's like insane.
I just
Like he's the creepiest old man.
But you like Dak Prescott, right?
not really.
Dak's cool. I like Dak.
My thing is, if he's successful, then that means that Ezekiel Elliott is successful.
Yeah,
and I
Zeke's a
can't
chump.
stand
Mm.
Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah.
He looks like an Ewok.
Yeah, he looks.
Have you
look
seen
like
that
an
picture?
Ewok.
Yeah, no, he looks
Side
just
by
like
side.
Wicket. Like, yeah, he looks
It's
just like
insane.
him.
That's
It's
amazing.
incredible.
Yeah, it's really funny.
You
I love
think
the.
I'd like him because he looks like Wicket.
I was gonna say, is that a bad thing? Like, I thought you liked Ewoks.
I do love Ewoks, but not
See that Ewok like go for the
Not
pylon.
billionaire.
Touchdown, Wicket.
bad attitude Ewoks.
Football player Ewok.
Ewoks that hurt
Yeah.
women.
Exactly.
Have you seen like the?
Wicket
Isn't there like the
saves
video of him like just like golfing down like cereal? Like he's just
Oh,
like.
I hate that.
Yeah, that video's disturbing. Like he's just like. He's sitting there with like his half shirt thing, I think, and he's just
and,
like.
and his crazy weird
Yeah,
hair.
like and like there's just this huge bowl of cereal, and he's just like.
he's like,
It's just like going like milk splashing all over his
Oh,
face. And he's just
gross.
like, wow. Like
Yeah.
it's pretty. Yeah, you like watching like that's not right. Like, that's
So,
not something a sane person does.
We hate him. It's established, but the Cowboys
Meh.
just Jerry Jones is loaded.
He's creepy. He's a
he
sleazy
can sign
dude.
any player he wants. And I'm just like I
He
don't
needs
want
to
that.
retire. Yeah.
He's gonna. I don't think
He's
he
gonna
will.
die.
Yeah,
He'll die.
He'll go to the grave.
Retire
Dumb
life.
boys. He's pretty old though. He's getting up there.
80 something, right?
I think so.
Dude, can you imagine having the money that he has though?
No, I can't.
Jeez.
No.
You know how many Legos I could buy with that money?
You could
You
buy
say
Lego.
All of the Legos.
You know what's funny is every time I think about being rich, that's the first thing I go to.
Legos?
It's
Really?
not like a house or anything. I'm like, man,
I got a
could
nice
get
sports car. Like,
Legos.
man, I can get.
I could have a room
Death
full of
Star.
I
all
could
the
build a
Star Wars
sports car
Legos.
with Lego.
I could build a room out of Legos and put my Legos in that room.
Oh, dude. Have you seen that?
I
house
love
build of
those. Are
Legos
so cool.
where the guy like opens the walls. and
Yeah.
it's like,
There's like cracks in the walls and it's like Legos inside and it's like lit up and all like official.
Yeah.
Sounds
pretty
kinda Not up to code. There's cracks. in the
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like
The
something out of
foundation is falling
the
apart.
it's like something
Legos
out of
in
the
it.
Big movie like his character would do.
insane.
Like just make his house completely like childish.
That's my dream.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
I think I'd buy a house. I think that's what I'd do. I'd buy a nice mansion.
Well, you could buy a bunch of stuff if you were as rich as Jerry Jones.
Yeah. I feel like I don't know if I feel like I'd like it at first, but like I don't know, like it might like it could be like really easy to like not do good things with it. Like, you know,
Well,
like,
I just can't imagine
I'm gonna
like
buy a tank. And I'm just gonna drive it around town.
I just can't imagine like never worrying about money again.
Yeah.
Like that's just such a foreign concept.
You guys don't make money off this podcast?
Dave keeps it all.
Oh.
Yeah, Dave doesn't let us have any of
He
it.
posts the episodes late and then just takes all the money. I'm calling Dave out. I like calling Dave out on the show. It's like one of my favorite things to do.
I mean, Dave's living the dream.
Yeah.
His wife probably has a good job, right?
She's still in school.
She sounds
Oh,
cool.
still in school.
She will
He's
have a
working,
good
though.
job, though.
Oh yeah, what does he do?
He works at Blue Cross or whatever. Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Yeah,
does,
he's like a
claims person.
Yeah.
It sounds actually kind of like an interesting job. Like,
yeah, it's an office job. Talks on the phone. He seems to like it.
yeah. Like it seems like a lot of like problem solving stuff over the
Yes.
phone, like going through people's like insurance or like he works exclusively, I think, with like the company like representative.
So he
people.
probably processes like the insurance then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should just
Insurance
start
claims.
like making stuff up about his job so that when he's listening, he's just like, no, that's not what.
He's probably yeah.
Angry.
Well, actually,
I heard he doesn't do anything.
He's a
He just
skydiver
sits
for a
in that
living.
he
cubicle,
clocks in, sits in his cubicle, zoned out, glazed eyes,
watches
like,
Tarantino movies.
over and over again.
Are you gonna get the new Tarantino movie when it comes out.
Are you gonna
go watch the next?
I would actually probably
10 extra minutes of them just driving around.
Dude, don't hate on it. That's a great movie. That's the best movie I've seen all year.
Better than Joker?
Yeah, that movie. I love that movie.
Have
you seen it? Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
Okay, all right.
But I'll tell you why.
Disney.
Tarantino could come out with a movie about a guy just sitting in a chair, and you'd be like, "That's the greatest movie."
No, see, because I don't.
Greatest movie I've seen all year.
Well,
It's a new Tarantino movie. Man on couch.
No, but that's not true. Because I don't like Kill Bill. Like I don't like either of the Kill Bill movies that much, and I don't.
Jonah, prove you wrong.
And like Django's fun, but like not anything special, and like.
I don't think I've seen a Tarantino movie, to be honest with you.
I like Kill Bill.
Yeah, see, like that's.
I've seen the Kill Bills and Django. I didn't watch his Hateful Eight. Is that right? That's what.
Yeah, I liked Hateful Eight. Hateful Eight was fun. I think Reservoir Dogs. I love Reservoir Dogs. And then I mean, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I just love the. It really is a movie about nothing. They don't really do much in the movie.
It's like Seinfeld. Nice.
I'd be willing to watch it if it had like Jerry Seinfeld instead of Brad Pitt and Leo.
Brad Pitt is
Jerry
awesome.
Seinfeld
So
and
what's
Kramer.
the deal with Charles Manson?
Brad Pitt is really good in the movie.
That's what I heard. I just don't like that he fights Bruce Lee.
Oh, dude, that scene's awesome. It's so good.
People getting upset about that.
People,
stuff.
I do like they were trying to make him recut it to air it in China.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
China,
And he's like, no. He's like, they can just pirate the movie.
He's like,
if they
I'd
want.
rather add
Like,
10 minutes to it and put it back.
I think he actually though literally said he's like, I don't really like when people pirate my movies, but if that's how they gotta watch it over there, he's like, that's fine.
That's kind of cool.
I'm like, like somebody's actually sticking up to the communist regime.
Whoa.
I can't wait till he does a new Star Trek movie.
I would watch that. I'd get down on Star Trek.
I can't believe he can't do that.
I haven't heard anything new about that. Is that still?
I don't think so.
Yeah, last I heard, they're like, oh, he's talked about it. But
R-rated Star Trek.
It would be like it like completely goes against everything about Star Trek. It's like, you know what we're gonna do? Make a movie with a lot of cussing in it. I guess they swear in the new show, but
Captain Kirk's like, set your phasers to eviscerate.
Blood's everywhere. Samuel Jackson's in it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Have you seen Glorious Bastards?
No, I haven't.
That one. Okay, that you even like that one, right, Mick? Like
it's good.
Oh,
my problem with Tarantino movies, I feel they're all the same.
They are.
You're gonna get to the final 20 minutes where it's just like a blood bath of like, oh man, how many ways can we?
It's always a bloodbath, and then like one of the main characters always dies.
Well, and then
or a lot of them.
You always,
all of them die, and some of them.
Yeah.
Like the way he really enjoys to like switch history around.
Yeah.
To like be like, so now we're gonna murder Hitler, and now we're gonna murder the KKK, and now we're gonna murder the man. You know, it's kind of like.
Yeah.
I feel like he's kind of
same old thing.
So, but I don't know. But I've never been a big fan of Tarantino. So
I just like the dialogue. I like the characters and stuff. Like
I'd like to see him do like a romantic comedy.
There you go.
That'd be interesting.
I heard he's kind of a really messed up dude.
No, he's kind of a weird. He's definitely a weird.
It's like
guy.
A bunch of things have come out where he's like in the Kill Bill movies where he almost killed Uma Thurman.
Oh yeah, did you actually watch that scene?
That video is insane.
Yeah,
but then she's also talking about how like he would spit on her. Like
there's
like all this stuff where he was like
he wanted to be like a character in Inglourious Bastards gets strangled.
Oh yeah, he wanted to strangle.
He was the one that did it. Like he's like, I want to be the one that strangles the girl in the scene. It's like, okay, that's a little weird. Yeah. That scene's actually uncomfortable too for me, like that in that movie when she gets strangled.
He's like, trust me, I'm a director.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Cut.
Don't worry, I'll yell cut.
Another take.
That's not a red flag. I don't know what it is.
No. Yeah. No, he's a weird guy.
Can I maybe strangle you in this scene?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he's strange, but I like his movies. I feel like most people in Hollywood are pretty.
I think you have to be kind of strange to be.
Dude, if anything ever comes out about Tom Hanks, I'm gonna off myself.
Well, here's the crazy thing.
Nope. No point. There's no good ones. There's no good people.
That's what everyone thought about Bill Cosby.
And then he's like one of the worst people.
No,
that is true.
So I'm like, I mean,
isn't it like
don't put that on Tom Hanks?
Nothing. Whatever. Tom Hanks is a national treasure.
Tomorrow, Tom Hanks found 85 bodies in his basement.
That'd be nuts.
Run, Forrest, run. Yeah.
All right. Well, anything else you guys want to talk about that's more wholesome? Can end on a better note than a bunch of bodies in Tom Hanks' basement.
Trying to think. I don't know. It's another slow week for me.
One thing I did want to bring up that I thought was an interesting point. Back to when you were on last, Jonah, we talked about Man of Steel a lot.
Oh, no.
Back around. And how Landon was on his phone the whole time?
No,
Yeah.
Stop.
I wasn't even
Stop.
there.
I wasn't.
And Josh knows.
I wasn't. It's lies.
Dave's gonna cut this whole part.
Probably.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring up the fact that Landon says that he doesn't like that movie at all because it's boring and bad. But he is such a fan of Spider-Man 3.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I love Spider-Man.
I don't think I've ever heard this before.
Yeah.
That is literally.
Hey guys, I got some stuff going
Like,
on.
there's nothing I can say.
Yeah.
You can't say.
I have.
Some people
let
just
me,
like dumb things.
Let me be honest though. I have not seen the film in probably over 10 years.
Okay.
I would say like.
So he's watching it through child eyes.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, it's like through. It's purely through child. Like I just watched the whole. I watched actually the whole trilogy in one day, and I was just like, it just all built up. I was like, oh, I think it was one day. Maybe it was like a couple
Well,
of nights.
Sandman.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm like, there's so many villains. It's so cool. Like.
Hey, is that the guy from that 70s show?
Topher Grace.
Peter Parker.
He sucks. He's so bad.
Edward Brock Jr.
My favorite thing about that movie, I know you want to talk about Man of Steel, but my favorite thing about Spider-Man 3 is he randomly shows up into a church and he like hears someone screaming and he's like looks all the way up and he's like, Peter? Like, how did
in New York, freaking city.
Yeah, there was like a half second where Peter was in the view of him, and he's like, "That's Parker."
Yeah,
Hey,
like
man, he's
looking
an
all the way up
investigative journalist. Is that what he is? No, he's a photographer.
See, I don't even remember that. Like, that's how long ago I've seen the movie.
Have you seen?
I
that?
just like rubbing in it. Like, I like screwing with you guys. I'd be like,
It's
oh,
obviously
so
the best scene is obviously the
yeah.
dig on
absolutely.
this.
Have you watched it like without
So
without
good.
like the music?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
it's
so
so
cringy.
funny.
And the girls are going like, oh.
It's like flicking. His hair
My
back,
favorite
but-
part is when they ask him about the pie.
So
So
good.
With his mouth all
So
good.
I use that gif a lot.
Your father, I cleaned his wounds the night he died. Your father was murdered by his own speeder then.
The
blade was self-inflicted.
the blade that pierced his body came from his trailer. There's like a bunch of blooper scenes with that actor trying to get that line down. He's like saying like trailer and like
Oh my
your
God.
glider and like all this wrong
I think
stuff.
that guy
I need to
died
watch
like 2
this.
days
I
later.
think he
right?
did, yeah. Gosh,
I need to find those.
it's so funny.
I love. Isn't that the one that has the scene where he like screams at the landlord like about the door?
Yeah,
I love that. I love that.
He's like rent.
He's like,
He's like, you'll get your rent when you fix this dang door.
yeah, he just slams the shut. Like,
Yeah, that movie just went nuts. That movie is crazy. But one thing I will say, I have an understanding with Landon, as we were saying before.
Right.
He doesn't like Man of Steel. That's fine, and you know.
and I don't like Superman. That's the thing.
But-
Like,
but
and that's
that's the
probably and that
thing.
probably is the best film adaptation of Superman.
but
Like
Probably.
it's beaten 2006, whatever. Like
I don't think I've ever even.
But
seen
even-
that
that.
one's not. That one's terrible.
even the aspect of he likes Tarantino movies, he doesn't really like
Well,
Marvel
that's
movies.
cinema.
You know, it is cinema. See, so I can understand him being
Right.
like, I'm not, but
I'm not a huge superhero. Like just
when
in
I
general,
come
like-
into an argument, say if it's Will or someone like
Wow,
that,
name dropping.
that
Wow.
that loves Marvel movies, right? But then when it comes to DC movies, he's like even the Joker.
He loves Man of Steel though.
A great movie, and
Will
then
loves
the
Man of
Joker.
Steel.
He'll be like, well, the themes weren't very deep, and I'm like, name me a deep theme
And
in
I
any
like
of the
Joker
Marvel
a lot
movies.
too.
So that's
So-
where those arguments come up
Right.
more.
And
as
I
if
get
it's
it that the films are subjective and everything. I just thought that was an interesting point that I forgot to bring up the last time you were here.
Yeah, I feel like I'm pretty like even across the board. Like I liked Joker. I liked Joker a lot. I liked Wonder Woman. Okay, like that was a fine one.
Did you ever see Aquaman?
No,
Aquaman's good.
I don't have
Aquaman's
much-
good.
I don't have much interest in watching.
except for the
Aquaman.
Pitbull song. That's the one thing
That
that's just
does
like,
suck.
That
But,
just
like,
comes out of nowhere.
Everything
Yeah.
else is cool though.
So like it's like with Marvel. Like I like Logan. And like I did like I liked the Endgame and Infinity War. I thought those were kind of cool. Like
I still haven't watched Endgame.
You still haven't watched Infinity War.
I haven't
Get
watched
out of here. You haven't watched a
either.
Marvel movie in like 8 years probably.
yeah,
But you hate them so much.
No, it's not that I hate them.
No, you
I'm
do.
just like, I know what they're gonna be.
But
Yeah,
you like Iron Man.
I like Iron Man. I liked the early ones, but then when it just became
They're
the
the
same
same. They're cookie
movie
cutter.
over and over again.
You were fine with Black Panther.
I like Black Panther,
Yeah.
but it's the same thing. I get tired of people claiming like this is the greatest movie ever, and I watch it. I'm like, this is the same movie you've done 10 times.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing changes.
That's what made Joker nice. It's like it's something different. Like it's like, oh, this is a different kind of movie.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, so that's why I like seeing different experiences. Like if I go to a movie, like if I go to like any of the Marvel movies, it's the same. And even for most just superhero movies in general, it's like, okay, this is kind of like the same beat for beat. They don't find it's very rare when you find one that's done differently. That feels like it's like a unique movie. It's not like part of some. I don't like the extended universe stuff either. Like I don't like everything having to be shoehorned into being like,
right.
oh well, this movie. Oh, you got to go see this one for the end credit scene. It's like what? Wait, but the whole movie's bad. But I got to go there to watch the little clip at the end of Captain Marvel so I can understand what's happening with her character. Or like, oh, you got to go see Ant-Man so you know what's up with Ant-Man. It's like, I really go see the Joker. It's like there's never going to be anything else tied in with that movie.
Right.
But it works. Like or like Logan. Like there's some pre-existing characters that are used that have been in other movies, but like it's a completely standalone film. Like you watch it, it has its clear beginning, clear end. There's no like, oh well, you'll get this if you've seen this movie. It's like, okay, no, it's telling a story and it's done.
Yeah,
like, that's what I want from most movies. Like I don't even really, for the most part, I don't even like any kind of trilogies and stuff. I mostly like want to watch a movie to see like.
Which is why you like the Tarantino movies.
Yeah,
so
it's one story, or like you know, like I like some Scorsese movies, like The Departed. Like that's one story. It's told well. Or like one of my favorite movies that came out lately is Hell or High Water.
That's a great
Hell or
movie.
High Water is awesome.
Like I love that. It's like it's a simple movie. Like the story's not super complex. There's only a few characters in it, but like it's really well told, well acted, and there's a clear cut. You know, this is where it starts. This is where it ends. There's no, you know. I'd be so angry if they're like, "Oh, Hell or High Water 2's coming out," and it's like, no, like, why would you?
Gotta
like,
get the farm back.
Yeah, like, yeah, it's like, I don't know. I like self-contained. Like, if I want to watch something that's like more longer, I'd rather watch like a TV show, like a tight, like 10 episode season of something. Like,
Mandalorian.
Yeah, like I'm super excited for that. Like, that's gonna be. I'm sure they'll have multiple seasons. I think they've already renewed.
They're already
filming
the second season.
Yeah, I think they're. Did they finish writing the second season?
They're already filming.
They started filming.
Oh, they already filmed. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you hear the rumor about supposedly that George Lucas came in on the first season and
I'm the Mandalorian.
No, and wrote
like,
wrote like backstory on the Yoda species. And
Really?
they have like they're supposedly like filmed. They made a bunch of Yoda puppets, different like.
Wow.
So
Now, for those of you who don't know, Yoda has never had any type of backstory to his species. Like nobody even knows what his species is called.
oh,
So that's
dang.
interesting that he actually
that's
wrote
the
something.
rumor,
That's the
anyways.
rumor,
That
yeah.
he and his son's working on the Mandalorian as a writer.
Mhm.
Jet Lucas.
Oh, is he?
And so they're saying that
He's in Revenge of the Sith.
they had
Is he
Who's
the
he?
is he the dude that almost makes it out?
Yeah, he is.
He's the one going for he's meeting up with what's his face?
Bail Organa.
Yeah, he's like coming out. I always thought that part was sad. He like kills a couple of them, he's about to get in, and then he gets shot. And he's like, no.
that kid's in the Clone Wars.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, you know the kid that's when they go get their lightsaber crystals, the one that's
nice.
annoying. The one
Oh, that's him?
The older one. That's that character.
Oh,
That episode's sweet.
The one that's like, I want my like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna work with anyone else. That's him.
Well,
he gets
sweet
killed.
There's a freaking Wookiee Jedi, and he's got a sweet
Oh, his
wooden
lightsabers, yeah.
lightsaber.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Did you guys see
the saber comes out and it's wood.
it's like a tree growing. Like,
Did you guys see the pictures of the like supposedly like the first lightsaber made? It's like made out of like twine and like wood pieces.
Oh, is that from the Vader Immortal game?
No, it was a picture I think from some set photos of the.
Like the first one made, like back
was-
in the day. Or?
It was like thought to be.
Oh.
It. Yeah, I think it was like concept art or like from the actual set
Oh, nice.
or
No, I
something.
didn't see that.
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
are you guys excited for that Star Wars game, the Fallen Order or whatever?
I'm pretty excited about it
Yeah.
actually, because they're for the way they described it. They're like, it's like Metroid, which is a game I used to love. Like you can just go to different areas.
You get different abilities that
get
can go
abilities
back.
and then go back, and then they're saying it's like God of War.
Yeah.
I need to play that still.
God of War, like kind of fighting style, and then kind of like Uncharted, I'm like, man, that sounds. I mean, it's easy to say like we're making a game and it's gonna be like this, but this is more like people that have reviewed it have said that's what it's like. I'm like, I'm pretty excited for it.
It looks like just visually, it looks really good too.
Well, I like the whole aspect of like you can explore a place, and then once you unlock more things, you can go back and explore. It opens up more spaces, and that what I heard is that the map's really nice. That once you unlock something, it'll show up on your map if on a planet that you visited.
Mm-hmm.
If you've unlocked a new area where you can access, so it'll go from like red, which means you can't get to it. Yellow means you haven't gone there.
Mm-hmm.
So you haven't opened that door, and green means that you've already been there. So
nice.
Like if it turns from red to yellow, it means like, oh, you can open. So I'm like,
so you won't be running around circles.
So you won't have to be like,
was I here?
Let me go back to this planet. You can just look on it on your map and be like, oh, this place opened up. I'm gonna go back.
That's nice to know. I've had that problem a lot with those type of games in the past where I'm like, have I been here before? Where am I supposed to go again?
Or is there anywhere else to go here? Like you're just running around running into walls trying to find. Yeah. I think that's the one I'm actually the most excited for. Like games coming out like this fall. Like,
is that in late November?
Yeah.
I think it comes out the same day The Mandalorian comes out.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
It like November 12th.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's close.
That is close. Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get both of those. Well, the Disney Plus and the game.
Yeah. I think you have to just for The Mandalorian, and then there's quite a bit of stuff on the Disney Plus that's worth it. So.
Yeah. Well, if you see like all the stuff that's gonna be pulled off of Netflix and then put onto the Disney Plus, and like we were talking earlier, like Malcolm in the Middle. That show you can't really find anywhere.
You can get the first season on DVD, and then
I think I have a bootleg. I have a bootleg copy. It was
on it was on a Netflix for a while.
It was. It's not on anymore. But yeah. So I mean, that's more than enough reason for me at least to get the
I'm
service.
Still hoping for Even Stevens.
Had they not announced it? I was just about to ask that. Gosh dang.
What is that?
Even Stevens, dude.
It was Shia LaBeouf, right?
Yeah, Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
Oh. Do you like him as an actor?
I haven't seen much with him.
Have you seen the trailer for the new movie he's doing?
Dude. The Peanut Butter Falcon?
No, that one's great.
That movie's awesome.
That's a great movie.
I haven't seen that. It looked good though.
Honey Boy.
It's called Honey Boy.
Oh, is that the one about him? It's about him, right?
He's playing his dad.
Yeah. Dude,
and it's like
nuts.
ridiculous. Like it's about him growing up with his dad, like being like, I'm the only one that cares about you, and like using his son to make money.
Yeah.
But he's playing his dad. Like it's insane.
Dude, it's crazy.
Like
he seems to have kind of a tragic, like kind of fall from great. Like he seems like someone to root for. I kind of find myself like I don't watch a lot of his movies, but I kind of like rooting for him.
I think he's a great actor, and he's like unique and like he has certain perspectives on things. Like he does things that are just like this guy's kind of crazy.
Yeah, he's a crazy person basically.
But like Peanut Butter Falcon,
do it.
But like Peanut Butter Falcon, the guys that wrote the movie were like homeless and shopping the movie around, and like no one wanted to make it unless they had a star attached. So the guy was like, email Shia LaBeouf, and he's like, hey, we have this movie, here's the script, would you be willing to do it? And basically for like no money. And Shia LaBeouf was like, yeah, I love it. I've got 2 weeks before I'm gonna go, like
he was like gonna go like some cabin in Finland or something like that
for a year. He's like, so I'm gonna be in this. I'll be in the United States for these 2 weeks if you want to do it there. So I like filmed it in 2 weeks.
Oh man!
And he was just like, yeah, sure, I'll do
cool.
it. So I'm like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Where the guys wrote the movie because the guy in the movie that's has Down syndrome.
It's
Down
about
syndrome?
the movie for those that don't. Isn't it about a kid that has Down syndrome that wants to become a WWE kind of wrestler,
he wants to become a wrestler. And so they met this kid that wanted to be an actor, and he was like, there's no movies, no roles for me as a person with Down syndrome.
Yeah.
And so the guys were like, well, we'll look for something. And the guy said, the guy with Down syndrome said, well, why don't you just write a movie for me? And so the guys were like, all right. So they wrote a movie for him, and then they were trying to shop it around. And like studios were like, no, you can't have him as an actor. Like you need to have someone else. And so they're like, no, we're not going to do it if we can't have him as the actor. And they're like, no, you need a star. And so they had like Shia LaBeouf, and they have like John Bernthal's in it.
Yeah,
John Bernthal needs to be in more.
But he's in it.
He's for like not
like
very long,
40 seconds. But it was just because he's friends with Shia, and Shia's like, hey, will you do like stuff like that where you're just like, that's really cool. Just guys being like, yeah, let's do this movie.
Throw him a bone.
He's in the Ford versus Ferrari movie. that's coming out.
That looks pretty good too.
I'm really excited for that one. That has Christian Bale, Matt Damon, John Bernthal.
Yeah, that movie looks good.
Yeah, John Bernthal's pretty cool. I feel like anything he's in, he's like, at least his character's like cool. I feel like.
Yeah.
Anything.
Did you guys ever watch what's that movie? It's like Mystic River or not Mystic River.
Mystic River is like an old.
What's the one with that he's on like an Indian reservation?
Oh.
It has John Bernthal in it. It's like came out like 2 years ago, and it was
They're
like up for
investigating
best
murder,
movie.
right?
It was like up for best picture at the Oscars.
Was it with Christian Bale?
No,
No,
it has.
it was,
It has Hawkeye in it, right?
Jeremy Renner?
Jeremy Renner.
I'll look up. I'll try.
Jeremy Renner's a sheriff, and he's investigating a murder.
Oh, is I think
It's like something
Something
river.
cold.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Cold River.
I'm hitting up IMDb.
yeah, it's on. I think
Sponsor
that
of
movie's
the
on
show.
Netflix.
IMDb. You guys sponsored by IMDb yet?
No.
Oh, gotta get on that.
But it has John Bernthal in it.
Wind River.
Wind River. Mystic River. I was close. Yeah, that movie is brutal.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
has
I haven't watched it.
Elizabeth Olsen in it too.
You haven't watched it?
No.
Oh, it's
I
brutal.
don't think I can. I don't think Crystal would like watching it.
Oh,
It's pretty like heavy, right?
it's heavy, and
Yeah.
you're watching it and you feel cold. Like the way it's shot.
Yeah.
And, but it's a powerful movie.
Yeah, it's one of those movies that I don't think Crystal would enjoy. So it's like,
Sounds like up my alley then.
I think you'd like it. It's really good. It's like he's investigating a disappeared woman on an Indian reservation.
Oh, okay.
And so it's just about like him trying to find a body, and they're trying to figure out like what happened to her and stuff.
Jeremy Renner's another actor that I feel like is pretty good. That like, I don't know. I feel like being in the Marvel things kind of like actually kind of like hurt his
Yeah.
status. Like,
Yeah.
well, he hasn't really done anything else. I mean, he's done this
Hurt
one, but
Locker
then
was like before that, and that was
Yeah.
like his best.
he's in the Mission Impossible movies.
Yeah.
He wasn't in the last one though, was he?
No.
He wasn't, but he was in some of those.
Well, I think the original plan for him was he was going to take
He was gonna
over
take
that
over.
franchise, but that movie was it
Well, they
Ghost
did the same-
Protocol?
They did the same thing with the Bourne movies. He was supposed to take
Right.
over that. And
Oh
that
my
one
gosh,
failed.
he was.
Yeah, I
too.
never
Yeah.
watched that one. It's the only I don't. Yeah, I never
That was
watched.
Bad
it,
track
it was
record.
fine. It was fine. It was just so weird not having the character born in a Bourne movie.
Right.
Yeah.
It just felt weird, but yeah, he's a good actor.
Yeah, so don't try to relaunch your movies with Jeremy
Yeah.
Renner. 'cause it
Yeah.
You're
doesn't
gonna be the
work.
new Tom Cruise. You're gonna be the new Matt Damon.
All right. Cool.
Awesome.
You get one movie.
You think everything he thinks about that, he's like, man, there's gonna be freaking taking over Mission Impossible. And Tom Cruise.
And then
is
like
showing
80-year-old
up flying.
Tom Cruise is like, I
Flying.
can still do this.
He's like,
I'm
I'm gonna
just doing
fly the
my own
helicopter.
stunts.
They asked
Yeah.
Jeremy Renner, they're like, "Are you comfortable like hanging from a helicopter?" Like he's like,
He's like,
"No, no."
Well, Tom Cruise in the
He's crazy.
new Top Gun, he'd learned how to fly a jet.
Yeah, Tom Cruise is nuts, man. He's awesome though. He's another actor that's like, he like commits.
If
Like,
if it comes out that he's murdered like 40 people, that's the one guy in Hollywood that I wouldn't be surprised. I'm like, Tom Cruise is crazy.
he could totally get away.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. He's like, well, I just wanted
He
to learn how to
flies
effectively
jets.
murder people.
Yeah.
yeah. I've done it so much in
I'm,
movies.
I'm the producer, so I can do what I want.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I love his movies.
He's got a Scientologist
he's
on
a
his
crazy
side.
person, but
My favorite thing in Tom Cruise movies is seeing him run. 'Cause he has this like crazy run where it's just like full out like.
do you guys watch the YouTube channel Corridor Digital?
Mm-mm.
It's a small digital effects company that they do projects here and there, but they also do a series that's like who's the best Indiana Jones or who's the best Jackie Chan, and one was like who can be the best Tom Cruise. And so it's just a bunch of the people in the company doing these like competitions. Like one was Tom Cruise's run, like who could
Nice.
run like Tom Cruise the best, and like you have to like go around this corner at like the certain angle that Tom Cruise can do and stuff. It was really funny, but yeah, I don't know. I love Tom Cruise movies like Night and Day. That was a good one. Live Die Repeat.
Oh, Live Die Repeat is awesome.
That's a
I haven't
great
seen
movie.
Day and Night.
Night and Day.
That's the one with Cameron Diaz, right?
Yeah.
That's the one that at the same time there was one with Ashton Kutcher that came out.
The Killers.
Right? Yeah, and
it was
like,
oddly like similar.
It's
No,
so
that
happened.
all the time.
Yeah.
Happens.
That's like Mr. and Mrs. Smith came out, and there was like another movie that was exactly the same.
Well, it's like The Prestige, and what's the other one?
The Illusionist.
The Illusionist sucks, man. That
was a bad movie.
Yeah.
It's so funny how like there's always those.
Well, they do that too. Wasn't there?
There's also the Friends with Benefits and whatever.
There was
else.
one with Natalie. It was Natalie Portman, and Ashton Kutcher.
And
right?
Ashton
and then
Kutcher.
The other one was
Justin Timberlake and
Mila Kunis.
Yeah, my wife watches that movie all the time. Also,
What?
I don't know why she likes it. She loves it.
What's wrong with her?
She likes Justin Timberlake, and he takes his shirt off a lot. I guess.
So why don't you watch that other one? What's the one with the time?
Oh, I haven't seen that one either.
That was
an
interesting movie.
Yeah.
I forgot what it's called, but
Timeless.
it was a cool concept. Like your life had like an actual time on your arm,
And the rich people could buy more time.
Right.
And the poor people couldn't.
There's this weird like way you could win time though, like from some type of arm wrestling thing. Like I didn't really understand it, but it was like
I don't remember.
like
that.
you like grab the person's arm, and if you like twist their arm,
you can steal time.
You
from
like
them?
steal the time from
Oh,
them.
man.
Like
It's
thing.
like over the top with.
Well, I think they were just
Sylvester Stallone.
adding it to theirs, right? They were like stealing
something
it.
like. But it was interesting though. I don't think it was well received, but
Yeah.
it was a cool concept.
Yeah, sometimes that's all a movie can be is a good concept.
Right.
Like,
What I thought was dumb was the way his mom dies, because she like has to pay a certain amount to ride the bus.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like, really? Like, you know what?
what she
I
paid
gotta
like
get
a,
to work.
Yeah.
I'm dead.
she paid like she paid the last amount of her time and then like died on the bus.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Maybe she just forgot. You know how sometimes you
Or
like,
she
forget
needed to
your
like
wallet
recharge
or
or something.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't have enough money to get on this bus, so she's like running, and her son's running towards her, and her time's running out, and he's got to like transfer time. I was just like, really? You can't? Yeah, I thought that was kind of dumb.
Yeah. That's funny.
Have to rewatch that, I guess.
Yeah.
You're not really.
Yeah, I probably don't.
Just take my word for it. Watch Groundhog Day or something.
That works.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we've gone a really long time.
How long have we been going?
At least an hour and a half.
Oh wow,
my
that's
gosh.
long for us, man.
Probably our longest episode yet.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, you're
so congratulations, guys.
Yeah.
You were here
That's
for
my fault.
history in the
Record.
making.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for being on the show,
Yeah, thanks,
Josh and Jonah.
Yeah,
Appreciate
no
you
problem.
guys. Hope you had a good time. I had a good time. Landon had a good time.
Yeah, I did have a good time.
All right. You guys can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, CastBox, YouTube, and other podcasting platforms. Visit our website at www.hotkeyspodcast.com. Follow us on Twitter at Hotkeys Podcast and join our Facebook group at HK Hotkeys. Please like, review us, and subscribe on whichever platforms you use. And finally, you can contact us via email at hosts@hotkeyspodcast.com. Bye.
Bye.